London Bridge before running into a...
What size do you want her logo? Cat's logo?
Me?
Yeah, she said you totally distorted it. If you tell her what size, she'll get you one for that size. It says, I noticed my logo was resized without holding the
What is she
aspect.
talking about? I didn't resize anything. I don't even know what she's talking about.
I'm just going to follow.
What is she even talking about? What logo where?
7 dead and 48 wounded, and the mayor of London says there's no reason to be alarmed! Exclamation point.
Is she like, she's a normal person, right? I don't have to worry about her being like some kind of paranoid schizophrenic, because I don't know what you're talking about.
President Trump now.
Recommend. Of course, we also recommend you stay out of trouble too. But Joe Lazara can help you. When it comes to DUIs, you have so many things to think about. It's the civil use and the criminal case you have to worry about. He can handle both of you and help you through this. Joseph A. Lazara.
They're crushing.
That's Lazzara.
Technology's crushing.
Also on my referral list at referralist.com.
Hoping banks.
Oh, that's not something like that?
No, this is okay.
What?
Banks, we're up a little bit.
6200.
Everything I had was I don't even.
That's weird. I don't even know where I got this.
We want to work with affordability.
When I looked, though, it was only up like 3 points.
Right.
Down with them. Oil's still getting just absolutely hammered.
Help when you need it most. Equal Opportunity Lender regulated by DORA and MLS 136756. For terms and conditions, call 844-45-IDEAL.
You know, this year I made more royalties than any other year. You that one out.
iHeart switched to a different company, I guess, for hosting at least a podcast. I was told that eventually you'll be able to download again. It's just kind of part of the changeover, but really no one knows, at least not in this building right now. Okay. No affirmative answers.
Okay, but did you say, Mark, you were able to download music?
Yeah, which is weird. When you're listening to music on the iHeart app, which is a great app, you can actually right-click and hit save. But if you're listening to a show, it's not available. Any show. Our show, any show. So I don't know.
So we've been getting a lot of complaints. We're well aware of it because, I mean, we literally get hundreds and thousands of downloads.
You can still stream it, though, anytime.
Yeah, you can still stream, but you can't download it. So you can stream live. A lot of people download it and then listen to it later. You can still stream it at any time. So I'm not even sure why people download anymore.
Because maybe let's say they're driving through the mountains and they have no connection.
Right, so they download it for later. Whatever the case, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. We are addressing it. I mean, you know, we're doing what we can. 303-713-8255. What about all our old podcasts? Are they still available?
No, I don't think for download.
None of the links on our website then work.
Well, those work. No, they work for listening to it, not for downloading it. And they only go up to the first. I'm readdressing that soon.
Woo.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, you want to talk about one from last week real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
We sent out Mr. Green Jeans.
To a guy that said he didn't get his money's worth.
16 grand he spent with this guy.
The landscaper said he got more than his money's worth. In fact, the guy owes him more money.
Which was insane, because if you looked at the job, all they did was dig up the old side and drop off some boulders.
Well, they put down a retaining wall, they said.
Suzanne, you said Mr. Green Jeans went out, and you've got a great update for us.
Is he on the line, Mr.
I don't have that update yet, Mark. You jumped the gun a little.
Is he going to come on?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, my bad. I thought we had the whole thing.
No, I thought he was on, but that's okay. We'll go back to it. Today, home services, plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. It's a big season for home services, especially air conditioning. We have Plumbline Services with us. They come in to say hi from time to time on our referral list, referrallist.com. Air conditioning is going to be the thing. That's going to be the big deal. And people are going to be told they need new air conditioning. And when people are hot, it's amazing. They find ways to buy new stuff. That's why we're giving, through Plumbline, free second opinions. It's really important. Why is it important? Because so many times people buy things they don't need. It's free, no obligation, and that's it, just free. If you're told you need a new unit of any kind, whether it's a water heater, it's most likely going to be an air conditioner, or a furnace, let us know. You get a free second opinion. There's never a problem with a second opinion. You need to know where you stand when it comes to air conditioning. I want to talk about sizing air conditioning and a little bit about what they are. What is a SEER and what is a BTU? I want to talk about that coming up. 303-713-8255. Let's go to the phones. If you have any kinds of concerns on anything, give us a call. Chris wants to talk about his wife's credit card. What's going on, Chris?
Access to her credit. Actually, Social Security number, actually, Tom.
Who did?
My wife applied for credit, and it popped up in an employment saying my wife was employed at this company. And my wife said, I've never been employed at that company before.
So wait. So when they did a check on her, it showed that she worked at a certain company?
Yes, and she didn't work there because she's been at her company for 5 years.
I didn't even know a credit report shows where you work.
Yeah, it showed it on
Absolutely.
there. It gave the address, it gave the number, it gave everything for the company that supposedly that she worked at.
For current employment.
Mine still shows what I did in 1990. It still shows everything.
Okay, does it show the whole resume or just the latest job?
Generally, just your employers.
Yeah. Yep, just employer. Yeah, it showed where she worked. So it showed like last year she was working at.
I didn't realize
it
that.
was a concrete. It's called Western Concrete Forming. Had a number on there. The guy's like, I suggest you call that company and find out who's using her Social Security number. I said, okay. So I got the number. I called this guy. This guy's like, oh, you can give me your Social Security number over the phone, and we could check into it for you. We have a lot of employees, and I could find out who it is, and then I could fire that employee for using the wrong Social Security number. Well, why didn't he check before, it's a guy and a girl?
How would he check? I'm curious, how would he check?
He should be able to check when they do a Social Security, with an ID or have a copy of a Social Security number or something, because obviously he was using my wife's Social Security number since last year.
Well, it's easy to fake a Social Security card, if that's what you mean. Is that what you mean?
Well, I don't know. That's what I don't know.
I don't know how you verify Social Security. I don't know why they didn't check. But this happens to a lot of companies, Chris. You know that, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Guys,
it does, but it's...
let me ask you this, Bob. Bob Logan over at Plumline. When somebody gives you a Social Security, you hire people. Is there a way to check it as an employer? I don't know.
It's extremely difficult to check it. We do all the normal background checks and everything that we need to do, but
as far as the Social Security number, is there a place you can call and match it up with a name and a DOB?
There is not. In fact, this doesn't happen to us very often. In fact, hardly at all. But when I was in new construction, that would happen quite often, where
somebody would use a different.
We'd get a letter saying this person's name does not match up with the Social Security number, and there were challenges there.
Chris, I'm not so sure.
People can make them.
I'm not so sure there is a place to check. When we hire people, we don't check Social Security numbers anywhere. They just give us a number because you assume they're going to give you the right number because they're paying into it. Your wife's getting credit for that income.
But what if they're paying under the table? What if the guy's paying under the table, still using a Social Security number, paying under the table? That guy's not paying taxes.
But what difference would it make to your wife?
I just don't want it to ruin her,
How could it?
Everything on her credit.
How could it?
They're supposed to go through E-Verify, but a lot of companies don't do it. There's no teeth in the law. Eventually, there should be.
Now, Chris, I don't think it can do your wife harm, is what I'm saying. It can only do her, if anything, it can get her credit. If they're paying her under the table, why would they even want a social? They wouldn't use it. So either they're using it to make payments to your wife's account, which can't hurt it, I guess. Are people allowed to have, I don't know if it would mess up her calculations or not. I can only think it would help her calculate.
Yeah, she might get a little bit of a refund.
Or she's getting, they don't give refunds, right? You just get paid more based on the quarters worked and how much.
No. What I'm saying is at the end of the year, she might have
a tax refund.
A tax refund coming to her.
Yeah, if they withdraw in her name, that's kind of weird. Or they were throwing in that other person's name. I don't even know. Maybe someone can call. Have you ever checked out Social Security numbers? Let's figure it out. But I imagine a lot of people do that. Is this LaQuana? LaQuana?
Yes, that's her name, LaQuana.
All right, we'll come back to LaQuana. I couldn't get her attention. We have a lot more to talk about coming up.
You know what La Quinta means?
La Quinta. La Quinta?
You know what it means? No. Next to Denny's.
There's a couple of folks to watch out for when you drive across town. Good news, that earlier incident westbound 6th Avenue in Sheridan looks like that's been cleared out of the way. Traffic flow slowly getting back up to speed in both directions. Also watch out for slow speed on the north end on southbound I-25. New road layout.
Got that belly laugh.
People this morning. Also crash on the shoulder eastbound I-270 near I-76.
Microsoft's killing it, man.
Look out for a crash on 120th.
I can't wait for Apple to die and burn forever.
Thunderstorms in spots today with a high of 80.
They're going to die and burn.
They're supposed to come out.
Boo,
today,
Apple.
right?
People have been predicting their demise for years, and it never happened.
Yeah, because of Gates, he should have never saved them. The only thing that man has ever done wrong in his life.
Time to make your move. Choose Westera.
You're kind of a Microsoft fan.
I'm an
He's got it
anti-Apple
wrong. He's
guy.
got it totally wrong about them saving. They would save it. They invested it where we didn't save it.
They were about to go out of business till they
That's not
fucked
true.
it up.
That's not true at all.
Okay.
Apple.
We've had this discussion before, and I
Windows.
proved it every which
You've
way.
never proven anything.
Every
All
which
you do
way.
is talk.
Every which way.
I mean, there's proof is more than
Sounds
just
like
you.
lunch here.
No, no, no.
100% proof.
Proof is just more than saying it. You can't speak that into existence.
9858, and on my referral list,
Apple is one of the highest value companies in the world.
A little too much time in the sun relief. Yikes.
Above Microsoft, by the way, their market value.
That's right, after Bill Gates bailed his ass out. You're absolutely
They're
right.
floating around 700 billion market capitalization.
I know, isn't that something?
I think the only one that was higher was,
Amazon.
I think Amazon beat him. Or maybe Alibaba now.
Working on contact and number
Hey, what do you think we should do about that guy with the engine?
relief starts now.
With
Which
methyl-
one?
The guy with mesylene that was crying on the radio.
The guy's a lying scumbag. I mean, he's 100% full of crap.
You know, that guy was crying on the radio on Friday there, with the engine. So I
Oh,
called the
wait,
engine
yeah.
place.
So the engine place doesn't even have an engine.
Not
Not only
existent.
this, he said he bought a brand new engine. If you buy a brand new engine with all of it in there, why do you send it to machinists?
You don't. The guy's an outright ripoff.
And I looked on the place where you're supposed to order, I couldn't even see a full engine for $5,000. It was like for big block, $8,000 is like the cheapest. You go to aluminum one, which you said it was, it's like 12 grand.
I think he said he bought parts to rebuild it, right?
But when
He
I
said he
talked
bought
to Chris,
pistons
when
and
I talked
rods.
to, when I talked to Chris, he said it was a brand new block and everything. So maybe
Well, he didn't say that on the air.
okay. So maybe
He said he bought parts.
so maybe he bought the new block then. He said it was a new block. Chris thought it was a new block. I can give him a
So
call.
this guy is basically not resolved. His engine is not at the body shop.
Correct. They said there was no.
We have to revisit that.
Yeah, the guy was a complete and utter liar from A to B.
The people in the industry.
Chris was the guy. Who was the guy? Ed Jones was the guy crying.
I wish we put tape on him crying.
I'm the opposite, I forget to put the E.
Sure it's there. But
How hard is it to go get that of him crying
stabilization. You may not even know what that is.
and replay it? Does he have it in there?
It cracks.
He's not gonna
That's
pull
due
stuff.
to problems underneath voids.
You can ask him, but it's not, I mean,
Concrete problem. There's a
I don't even remember what hour it was to you.
what is wrong, and then recommend.
But I can call him after the show, call Ed.
Oh, the guy was, I mean, the guy's money's gone. The guy's just a dirtbag. I say we buy him a carton of cigarettes and mail them to him.
Stabilization is the only one that does both.
What was his ailment? Did he say?
Mesylene, the asbestos thing.
Let's send him some drywall from Canada.
I wonder if that's true.
I don't know.
Remember, he was coughing every time you would say something.
So what Chris told me, he says, yeah, when you first call him up, the guy's in a great mood. And then he says, hey, this is Chris. I'm checking my engine. Then he starts coughing.
You both owe me lunch. It's insane. My lunches are going to be like the next Bitcoin. I can just trade them all over the world.
No, what I said the guy's really sick. He's a liar, but he was sick.
I don't think the guy's, I mean, maybe he's sick, but who cares?
Hi, Tom Martino here.
Plumline Services in the house. We do have an update, and we're going to do that later, on this mechanic who was crying on the air. When was this? Thursday or Friday?
Friday.
Friday? Oh, was it Friday? He was crying and crying and saying
Tom, please.
he has some asbestos disease, whatever that is, in his lungs, and he's dying. And he said that he sent stuff to the machine shop. He can't even afford to get the stuff out. We checked with the machine shop. We'll give you a follow-up. 303-713-TALK. What was the name of that shop? We got to warn people about that shop. And
Oh, are you talking about Ed Jones?
yeah, what's the name of his shop?
O&O Performance, Aluminum Radiator, something like that.
He has a number of businesses.
Lion, cheat, and scumbag shop.
Tom, he did email us this weekend a novel that I have not had time to read yet, so I'm going to read that today and get it back to you on
Ed
it.
Jones, O&O Performance, and Aluminum what?
Aluminum radiator, I
Aluminum
believe
radiator.
that's what it's called,
Okay.
Tom.
And so we've gotten a lot of complaints about him. Of course, he says they're all wrong. He says he's suffering from a disease, and that's why his business is going south, but we found out otherwise. We'll give a follow-up on that. Laquana, what's happening? We have a line open, 303-713-TALK. Laquana, what's going on?
Hi, yes, I'm here in town from Ohio, and I'm moving my son, and I called and I ordered a moving company, Strong Men's Moving Company.
How'd you find them, Laquana?
Well, actually, my son and his girlfriend found them because it was time to move for college. So when I got here, they had already found them on Craigslist.
Strong Man Moving.
Yes.
And then what?
And then when they got here, they came in and my son signed the paper taking out the insurance, and they moved him everything. When we got to the new house, we noticed that the furniture was tore. So I made it aware to the movers. He told me, don't worry about it. He'll call his boss. Everything will be taken care of. I called his boss on my own because I just didn't like it. The boss assures me that he'll be out tomorrow to look at the damages. So I called him today and asked him about coming out to look at the damages, and he tells me that the damages was already there. That's why he doesn't like doing business with black African Americans.
He said that?
Yes, sir, he did. And I'm just like, excuse me, sir. Then he sends me a screenshot of another contract that he's made where he's forged my son's signature to it.
And what did that other contract say?
The other contract said that I denied insurance. But why would I deny it and then pay you for it? Then he calls me back and says, oh, my driver said that you took the insurance after you noticed the furniture. I said, do you really think your drivers would have let me do that? So he texts me back and tells me it's a civil suing.
So, Laquana, what's the name of the Strong Man Moving it is?
Yes, sir.
And they claim
Strong Man Moving.
And they claim the furniture was torn.
Yes, so then he tells me, well, we have before and after pictures. I said, that's wonderful. That would help me prove my case. So he sends me the pictures that I had the delivery man take at the new house. He tells me that's the before pictures. But, sir, I know it's not the before pictures because at my son's old apartment, he has all hardwood floors and the walls are gray. The picture he sends me is at the new apartment when I instructed the mover to take a picture where the walls are white and it's
Did you buy insurance though?
Yes, I did.
She said she did, but he's showing her a contract where they didn't.
Well, that's weird.
It's two different signatures.
You're saying he forged your son's signature?
Yes, he did.
And
I even have a screenshot of
You know what's odd is on their website, the movers, some of them are actually black, so that was a bizarre thing.
What's some of the strong man?
Yeah.
Yes, the mover was black because he came in. The mover was black.
The owner or the mover in your home or what?
The mover in my home was black. One of them were.
But the guy that said that to you, was he black? The guy that says, I don't like doing...
I don't know. I don't know. He sounded maybe African or something, and he said especially with females because you try to scheme. I'm not here to scheme anybody. I'm here to move my son from college. My son goes to Johnson and Well. I live in Ohio. I'm here to move them because it's summer vacation.
Yeah. So, Laquana, here's the problem. We have to figure this out. First of all, the damage itself, whether he has insurance or not, the damage, how bad is it? Was it one tear in one piece?
It's horrible. It's horrible. I can send you pictures. The back of it has got a big rip in it on the couch, and then the back of it on the love seat has a rip in it.
So that set, how much is it?
Well, when I bought the set a couple of years ago, it was like maybe about $2,500.
So you got, can it be repaired?
I don't know. That's what I was asking the professionals. I thought they had professionals to come out and see if it could be repaired.
But he wouldn't even look at it because he said, first he said he didn't cause the damage, and then he said you didn't buy the insurance. So he's trying to deny you two times.
Right. First he said I bought the insurance, but I bought it after I seen the damage. Then he called me back and said I never bought the insurance.
Do you have a copy of the contract that shows you bought insurance?
I certainly do.
That's all that counts. But now we have to figure out the condition of the furniture. And usually that insurance is not that good anyway. What would it pay you if it did do it, if he did do it? Isn't it what kind of coverage is it? They're usually very limited.
It doesn't say. It just says take insurance, and it says that it's $100 to take it. It doesn't say.
Those insurance policies are usually not very good to begin with, even if you had it. I'm not sure what I'm not sure of is what this guy is going to be liable for. But here's what I find odd. You're almost better off that you didn't have insurance. Because
that's my point.
Because if you don't have insurance, you can sue him in small claims court for the damages. If you do have insurance, you're agreed to use only the insurance, and he can't have it.
Wait a minute, sir. You must be misunderstanding me. I don't have my insurance. I took out his insurance.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Okay. But if you have his insurance, you would have to use it, because in every moving policy it says you must file the insurance claim and you must go after the insurance. But in the absence of that, this guy is actually opening himself up to a lawsuit because he's allowing you to go after him directly, which is actually would give you better coverage. You see, the insurance company could deny that coverage, saying that, you know, it's so much a pound or a deductible. But when you go to small claims court for damage, you could get 100% of it. So I don't know why this guy is denying you coverage in insurance. He's an idiot for doing it. He'd have more protection if he admitted you had insurance, because the insurance company would simply tell you, we're not covering it, and let them fight the battle. So we have to call the mover and figure out which one it is. Is he going to stick to the argument that you don't have insurance, or is he going to stick to the argument that they didn't cause it, or both? So do you have pictures before and after?
No, actually, I don't have any pictures before, because it's like stuff that's behind the couch. But once the movers got into the new place and I noticed it, I told him, you guys need to take some pictures. But he's telling me that his movers have before and after pictures.
Okay, let's call the mover and find out. Strongman, where did you find them? On Craigslist?
Yes, but I have their phone number. His name is Mo.
You hold on. Now, where are they located? What's the address?
Oh, wow.
Hold on a sec. Just hold on. Let's call them. Let's call them. We have a comment on Social Security numbers. Some guy called up and said somebody was using his wife's, two people were using their Social Security numbers, both of their Social Security numbers. He wants to know why employers don't check them.
And Tom, first of all, it's so easy. Anybody can go onto everify.com. You put in name, date of birth, Social Security number, and either comes back match or don't match.
Really? It's that simple?
That simple. It doesn't tell you who. It just says, yes, the name, date of birth, and Social Security number either match or they don't.
On E-Verify, anyone can do it?
Anyone. You can do it on yourself if you wanted to. So.
I'm going to try it.
And eventually there'll be teeth in that system where if an employer doesn't run it, they can get in trouble.
Right, but let me tell you the huge problem it makes. When you go to file your taxes, if somebody else has been earning income and has gotten a W-2 under your Social Security number, you file, you don't know about that income, you don't include it on your tax return, you're going to get a letter of deficiency from the IRS saying that you underreported your income. That's a huge problem it makes, and it will take you the better part of a year to undo that mess.
Really? Because they keep track of it by Social Security number?
Absolutely. They do, when they total your W-2s, and I've had this happen to a member of my family.
And they total, so they take, you're saying they take your social, they take all the W-2s associated with a particular social.
Eventually. Let's not forget Don Eiley, and some of these took 10 years in order to actually get matched up at the IRS.
Well, see, Mark makes a point. This is what's supposed to happen, but does it really happen?
Eventually.
Eiley, I'm familiar with Eiley. He was a different situation, but trust me, it's within a year. In fact, Tom, one time I actually forgot about a W-2 I had from a casino, and I filed, and 4 or 5 months later I get this nasty gram back from the IRS saying, you underreported your income because I had neglected to include a W-2 I got from a casino for a jackpot. And it was within 4 or 5 months I got a letter of deficiency. So trust me, it also happened to another member of my family. They match income by Social Security number against what you report on your 1040. And if it doesn't match, you'll get a letter of deficiency notice.
Thank you, Joe. E-Verify, 303-713-TALK. One Clear Choice Garage Doors for all of your garage door needs, no matter where you are in the metro area, from Fort Collins to Colorado Springs. One Clear Choice Doors. If you go to the website, oneclearchoicedoors.com, you will see all of the prices fully disclosed. Chappie and his team will take good care of you with free inspections, safety tune-ups, and lubrications, and tightening of hinge bolts, and all of that free, just to put the sticker on the door to be your garage door company in the future. 303-565-6409. One Clear Choice Doors.
If you really want to stop it, you give an employer a huge fine if they don't run them through E-Verify. Simple as that. You don't need a wall, you don't need
They don't do it.
Nope, they don't do it. And that's all the feds have to do. They say, okay, plumb line, okay, Troubleshooter Network, this guy was working for you, you didn't run him through E-Verify, $20,000 fine. You gonna ever hire someone and not run him through again? No way, Jose. Oh, look, I built in Jose.
I think it should be $1,000 per day
Your
per
sister was
employee.
on 3. Were you going to talk to her as well, or was one good enough for this whole thing? Okay, so the number on their website won't even ring, and then the other number that comes up for them, it says, goes right to voicemail and says, this voicemail hasn't been set up. So, they called the police on this guy this morning and everything else, so I'm
Well,
sure.
let's try to get a hold of them later then.
Okay, there's the live.
And then, 92 or 93,
You want to print out
I
that letter? I'll read that
watched
to you.
ICE pull up to this car wash in front of one of my Goodyears. I was there. They rounded up, and I knew the car wash very well. In fact, if someone spent enough money, I'd just send up and get their car washed.
I'll read it, but one of the things I saw that he put on there was his IQ is 160. Is that good or bad?
Yeah, second opinion is definitely.
160 is
We'll
all
do
the
second opinions all day long.
Oh, geez.
When I mentioned that Alexa, absolutely.
I'll print the list.
The fine
And
fixer
Joe,
free.
with
coming up.
the Leomia.
We're getting a few of them, but
Well, I haven't mentioned one, but I'm just curious if it works.
Only got one.
That's only 5 points below me.
our electrical schedule is actually pretty busy right now.
Okay, I won't mention it then, okay.
So I'd rather stay on the air conditioning
course.
side and sewer,
So you don't know what we
opinion on
send you
sewer
that
lines
text
and
about,
No idea.
talking?
any major
No idea.
projects.
Okay.
I'm not even sure what they mean by it. I mean, I get a gist of it, but they seem insane. I got 3 or 4 insane texts I get, so I think some of it go to that
What we
homeless
have
lady I
found
know.
with social media and with the way the radio is, and we're really big on the internet with downloads and social media, listening, and our websites. We're live on Facebook, live on YouTube. When our sponsors are people, so I'm trying to get this through my people's heads in a good way. I want you to be, if you could just be part of this and equate things like I did with the Social Security number to your company, like well, this is what we do, or this is what we don't do. That's what I'm going to be trying to do through the show, just, because it's not so much we talk specifically about, well, this plumbing problem, or this heating problem, or this, and I think I've told you, but that you're top of mind and you're a real deal, you're a real person, a real local company when people think about the future. It's like, oh, I heard them, let's call those guys, they're good guys, that kind of thing.
I wasn't going to get funny and just say when you said that. You mean a show about nothing?
Your industry is changing all over the country, You've heard of price
Actually, you
fixer.
have some pretty good stories.
Damn, this guy killed 5 people
The
today.
downside of that is people don't know what to do with shit.
Right.
And we're running into scrub snacks. The guys that started next time basically started.
I know, I always I want to know.
I don't know who started it.
The guys that started Nextar, literally, I read their interview in the trade.
Say a prayer.
They were talking about, they went about it all along. They were talking, this is what they said. We went to the businessman and asked the businessman, do you know what you're making? No, you don't. Do you know what you have to make? Here's how you figure it out.
Right.
And you better price accordingly or you're not going to be in business. And they're very correct with that.
Right.
But they said what they never bargained for, though, was people are pricing themselves out of the market. Because unless everyone does that, it's very difficult to be competitive. This is the excuse they gave to the trade as to why they went to Price Fixer. So now Price Fixer is exactly the opposite. It's the lowest price you get on the farm. Because you get wholesale equipment, and then you pick a provider to go do the labor, and that's it.
A bit like the biggest.
You buy the equipment directly, and the people do the labor, and that's it. Nothing else. I mean, it's like,
This would be interesting.
But like you said, there's so many
Privatize air
variables.
traffic control.
They got to know what they're buying.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. I know.
You know, that's why you need a contractor in your home before, so you can do
Technically,
heat load or cooling load calculation.
No, they're running into some.
He did progress, no, but he fired
a lot of
everybody.
times
Yeah, I
they're
know.
using people.
Well, he fired you if you went on strike.
And then they go out online and find them.
Yeah.
And they're wasting your time.
Right.
This whole thing, into everything, retailing in general. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're taking a salesperson's time. They're going to their homes. They're talking to them. They're sitting down. Then they're going online and buying.
Right.
I mean, the whole world is changing. Listen, I did it, okay?
Mr. Mark.
I had a helicopter part. It was a
Oh, hey, we're going to have, I'm going to bring those pieces today from
up here
after the show.
I went online and find the exact
We're going to
part
have
number. I
pieces
swear
there.
to God, it's a simple bayonet mount, meaning it goes in and twists and it locks, right? You hook up 2 wires and you're done. You can get it signed off and everything. I mean, but here's the point. 1,200 compared to 300.
Right.
I mean, the world is changing. Consumers never had that.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. If you listen to us online, you know we have a lot of interesting discussions in between the breaks here. Listen, we are having our small business seminar tomorrow night. Now, this is all business. This is not a sales job. This is not a dog and pony show. In fact, you may find it boring if you don't want to build and grow your business. And I don't mean it. It's not going to be boring. But what I mean is this. It's not one of these flash and dash things where you're going to see a lot of presentations and people trying to sell you stuff. It's down and dirty. I'm going to do interviews with experts on health insurance, marketing, on collections, accounting, and then Mark's going to go over some of the pitfalls we have found. We have gone through our records to find the biggest mistakes business make in business, the biggest ones, okay? Because you may be a great plumber, but you're lousy at running a business. You may be a great attorney, but you can't run a business. We're going over the fundamentals of running a business, even if you think you know it all. As I said, there is absolutely no obligation and nothing for sale. Now, obviously, if you guys meet people you like the collection attorney or Kat or some of our consultants, or you know, fine. I mean, you can make deals, but there's nothing being sold. You are not going to be pitched for another seminar or for a video or for any kind of anything at all. You're not going to be pitched. This is the real deal. 303-713-TALK. I know that Bob Logan, we talk about your business all the time, Bob, plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, and we know good old Jeff. Jeff started with a van many, many years ago, and you've grown into a giant company. But I'll bet you find that there are many people that they get in the business and they say, wow, you know, this is a pretty successful business. I could probably do this on my own because they know how to do plumbing. They knew how to do furnaces, right? And what happens? They go off on their own.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt, they go off their own. They think you know, they can do the same thing for a little bit less,
right?
And make a great living because they look simply at the charges and what they're making hourly. They don't understand cost structures, overhead.
And they could be a great technician.
Oh, absolutely.
You could have a great technician. I'll bet you, if you look into your past, has it been 25? How long has it been now?
19 years.
19.
Business?
19.
Yes.
Okay, I said 20. 19. I remember when Jeff started, okay? And anyway.
Jeff admits in the beginning he made a lot of mistakes.
Oh, of course he did. Yeah. But here's what I wanted to say. I'm sure that over your 20-year history, you can think of somebody who was an excellent technician, but they wanted to do their own thing. Nothing wrong with that, but they failed miserably. Can you think of one?
Oh, I can think of probably 100.
Okay.
Now, we have quite a few guys working for us, master plumbers, master electricians who have owned their own business and came to work for us for that very reason.
Right.
They realized I'm excellent at my trade, but I'm not great at running a business, nor do they want all the
like auto mechanics are some of the worst people in the world for running a business. You know who else is? You know who else are? Dentists.
And doctors.
The worst.
Dentists and doctors.
Oh, my God. Dentists especially. It's like, oh, my goodness. What we find with their office practices, and we want to help people. We do. We want to help people.
Go to referralist.com, troubleshooter.com, and sign up. Last day, this is
now,
it.
when you go to referralist.com, it's the top-level menu. It's actually a menu item, like About Us and all that. It's way over on the right. Sign up and come. Like I said, it's not going to be fancy. And I don't want to downplay it. It's going to be wonderful. I mean, we have experts. But what I mean is, you know, you go to some of these seminars, they have speakers, and they have big projectors, and it's lights and shows, and it's smoke and mirrors. That's not what this is. This is a down and dirty. You're going to be able to talk to us one-on-one. You can ask questions. This is a work camp.
What am I supposed to do with the dry ice I want?
Yeah. Okay, it's a revival. We have the lines open, 303-713-TALK. Hey, Tracy, what's happening? Tracy? Okay, I'll put her on hold in case you can get a hold of her. George, welcome. What's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, sir.
Yeah, I used to watch you on Channel 4 with Bob Palmer and everybody.
Oh, my God. Oh, that was the old days.
DJ 76 A and B.
Yeah, I've been...
Mr. Martino? My name's George.
Yes, George.
And we have a problem here in El Paso County that's shaping up that way. We have a house. My mom died about 3 years ago, and she was, God bless her, she's been buried at Fort Logan Cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
And what's happening?
How old was your mom when she passed?
92.
In the prime of life. Doggone it. What happened?
Well, we were supposed to have my mom's house.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true, mister. They're saying that the state and the county's going to own it. They're going to go bang, bang, bang to it.
Why?
And throw us out of the house.
But why, George? Why?
Be Medicaid.
Well, because the roof came off the house, mister, and we're trying to get a hold of a experienced roofer.
George, I've got to ask you a few questions, okay? You lived with your mom your whole life?
Yes, sir.
How old are you, sir?
I'm about 57.
Do you have mental disabilities?
No, I don't.
Developmental, any kind of disability?
No, sir.
You're not on Social Security disability?
Well, yeah, I'm on that.
Okay, you're on Social Security disability?
Yeah.
For what disability?
Because I took too much medicine or whatever.
Okay.
And been in a coma.
Okay. So, George, you live there with who? With your mom? With your sister or what?
No, with my other brother.
Okay, how old is he?
He's the same age. We're both twins.
Did he take too much medicine? Was he on disability?
No, he hasn't.
Okay.
But what I don't understand
where is he right now, your brother?
What now?
Where's your brother right now?
He's right next to me.
Can I speak to him for 1 minute?
Sure. Go ahead, Warner. He wants to speak to you.
Just for a minute.
Just a minute.
What's his name?
Okay.
No, Warner, is it?
Hello, Mr. Martino. How you doing?
Is this Warner?
Yes.
Oh, so you guys have lived with your mom your whole life?
For 40 years.
Okay, and now you guys are on your own?
Yes.
Okay, and you inherited the home?
They gave us a private administrator.
A public administrator?
Yes.
And
they gave us the deed for me and my brother.
Okay, so the deed now is in your name?
Yes, in my George's name.
Okay. And who, Warner, is it Warner?
Yes.
Warner, who takes, you guys are twins, what do you guys do with your Social Security? Who takes care of that?
I will pay $400 for the glass.
Who takes care of that for you?
$200 for the door. I pay taxes.
Okay, George, Warner, who takes care of the money for you? Do you have your own bank account?
No.
Who takes care of that for you?
We do, with me and my brother.
With who? Anyone helping you?
No.
Okay, and you have enough to pay your bills every month?
Well, I don't think so.
Is the house paid for?
Yes. I paid for it with my mom's second mortgage.
Okay, George, do you guys, so the house is paid for, right? Do you pay your...
I'm sorry.
Do you pay,
yes,
George, Warner or George, either one, do you pay your taxes on the house?
Yes, sir.
So they're all paid?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then why do they say you're going to lose your home?
Because they say that maybe the regional building department will condemn the house.
Okay, what happened to your home?
We had a storm that came out from Colorado Springs and affected all Stratmore Hill, sir.
Okay, what did it do to your home?
It ripped the roof halfway off, and then
Are you still living in it, George?
Pardon me?
Are you still living in
Yes,
it?
sir.
Is it leaking?
Yes, a little bit.
Okay. Now, they say you have to fix your home or they're going to condemn it and throw you out.
That's what I believe so.
Do you have insurance?
No, I do not.
Okay, why did you not have insurance? Because it was...
Well, the administrator told us that we can have the deed.
Right, I understand. It was paid for...
When we get the deed, Mr. Martino, we own the property.
You do.
But hold it here, you do not have the insurance so we can come out and fix your roof.
Right, you don't.
$9,000.
Well, we need to get your roof fixed. You can't be homeless, because what would you guys do without your mom's...
Well, we called up Dan Schumacher at Home Depot. They say they want it for $9,000.
Okay, George,
yes,
why don't you let us help you out here, okay? Who do you go to for advice normally, you and your brother? Who helps you out?
I help myself up.
Do you have any relatives or friends that help you?
Well, no, because my brother had a... What is it? He went to stomach surgery. So
okay.
He can't help.
Do you guys have any counselors at Social Security or any social workers?
No, we get Social Security and that's it. I'm working, trying to be a singer and songwriter.
Okay, George, I want you to hold on, okay? We want to help you. Here's what I want to tell you, though. Don't sign any contracts or do anything at all until you hear from us. I want to ask you, George.
Yes, sir.
Who is the one telling you about your house? And do you have a name at a building department?
Well, no, I don't. But as I understand it, we have a couple of people from All Star Roofing.
Yeah, don't worry about them. I don't want you to do anything about roofing. We're going to help you out, okay?
Okay.
But you have to just listen and trust me. I don't want you signing contracts or doing anything like that.
Well, I'm surprised because I thought we had insurance.
Okay.
Mr. Tom.
Maybe you don't because it's paid for and there's no one forcing you to have it. But we can work on that. Just hold on. I don't want you to hang up, okay? Suzanne, we got to get his contact information. It's really important. You hang on, George.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock.
There's a few minor problems in the drive across the metro area right now. Crash on the southbound side of I-225 at Yosemite. That's got traffic backed up to about Parker. Off-highway, watch out for wreck being cleared at Evans east of Dahlia. Another crash 120th east of I-25 as well. The rest of the drive across town in fairly decent shape. A couple of slow spots. Watch out for westbound I-7.
I don't think he's going to make it as a singer-songwriter, is what I'm saying.
Maybe you can write your pilot.
We need to get I wonder if we can get Best Hands or someone out there. Oh, you know who'd be perfect for this if they go out there is, oh, damn it. What's the Italian roofer down there?
We're talking
In the Springs.
the estimator?
Yeah, no, the Italian guy. Damn. Fettuccine Roofing? No, what the hell's it called? Who's our roofer down there? I can't believe I can't think of the name of it.
Adults who have crooked teeth and always wanted to deal with them, there is a way to do that in 2 years or less, sometimes 6 months to a year, depending on what your problem is. Crooked teeth sometimes comes from a narrow palate.
Petrali.
Do not need surgery. Doctor,
Let's get his address and call Petrali up, see if they can't go look at it.
he can help you straighten
Tell them we're going to build a whole story upon it.
alignment with natural.
Tell them this could be really good for them. Let's see if we can't get them to commit. We'll try to take up donations, but see if you can get the owner on, Petrali himself.
For less, sometimes 6 months to a year, and guess what? Way cheaper than getting a mouthful of veneers. If you're looking for a cosmetic solution that will also improve your health, help you with TMJ, or stop sleep apnea, call Dr. Ken Lawson. It is unbelievable what he's doing. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ with New Orthodontics. 303-690-0100. 303-690-0100.
Are you a U.S. veteran? American Financing wants to say a huge thank you for your service. If you haven't taken advantage of your VA benefits...
And my sisters are in town. I might duck out of them.
You're fine. Where are they from? Florida? Would they surprise you?
No, they were at her daughter.
Oh, in Boulder.
They're not in Boulder anymore, but they're here in Colorado. And my other sister came with her, and now they're done. They're going to leave on Wednesday.
It's all good.
Carl!
Carl? Hey, Carl, can you hear me?
I gotta tell you,
Carl?
it's gonna get hot. You guys are gonna go nuts.
VA loans have no down payment, no mortgage insurance.
The only thing that would kill it is if a hailstorm blew through.
Financing has salary-based mortgage consultants, no upfront fees, and the free qualification.
What do you need, like 3 days of upper 80s, 90s, and it cracks, right?
Right.
1 day's never enough, is it?
No, especially when you get the
evening.
overnight lows. Courtney and I were talking about this. When it gets cool overnight.
We were in the hot tub yesterday, in the middle of the day, and I was sweating in the hot tub, man. I was like, it's too hot to be
In the middle of the day? Yeah, that's...
It's in the shade, though. We're covered by 100-foot trees, so I mean, it's not like the sun's beating on you.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, Jay, you want to do it? Jay. We have not, hold on. Don't call Petrali yet. Don't call Petrali. Jay, text me.
Look, Petrali's watching.
We'll build it beautifully. Tell him to cancel that. Tell Dan we're going. I don't even know what to say now. Tell Dan don't worry about it right now. You better watch it too. You'll get on my nerves quick. You'll be spending the night in the barn. I talk a big game, but it doesn't seem to ever work out that way.
Call now to recalculate your personal credit score for only $99 and repair your personal credit for free. Call now, 800-790-4070. Don't miss this great free credit repair. Just be one of the first 10 callers. 800-790-4070.
I need to know what town those brothers live in. Please ask right now. Okay, perfect. You're sure they're not like, I thought they said okay.
Yeah, I feel horrible for people in that situation.
Oh my God, these poor guys, they have no idea what's going on.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I have a feeling our friends George and Warner need our help. Their mom died. They're in their late 50s. They live there. The house is paid for. They didn't have insurance. I'm sure there's some other things we can help them with. But their roof is destroyed.
Boy, you'll never guess who texted me who's listening during the break that, you know this guy. I want you to guess who it is. He says we're gonna get this guy fixed up.
There are so many people that would say that, but I would say Excel,
Jay.
For sure.
Mr. Bretz, he just texted me, said, man, let's help these guys out. I got to give it to Excel Roofing. Let's try to get some money, too. Let's try to help these two out. I mean, this is a horrible deal. A horrible deal.
Yeah. We're going to help. But, Mark, I think we need to help them. We need to take a look at their books and their situation. I want to make sure they're getting food and...
Yeah, but technically, if half that roof's gone, we got to get at least a tarp on the roof.
No,
if they're not kidding
we'll get down there. But I want to help them with other stuff. 303-713-TALK. So let's do that and check. Let's just check out everything. You know, when somebody, I just have a feeling they probably have some special needs. I'm not sure, but I just got that feeling. Okay, 303-713-TALK. Remember, the theme of this show is help. That's really what it is, help. You know, I get so frustrated watching news and watching the media and watching celebrity news and watching sports and watching everything. Everything's a controversy. What I love about what I do is I can actually come on the air and I really don't piss people off, except for maybe a few just don't like my style. Fine. And there are those, of course, we go after because they're lying, cheating, scumbag ripoffs. And then there are those we mention because they get complaints. I'm not so popular maybe with all of them, but the point is this. The show will not frustrate you to death because I'm not going to sit here and talk about Trump's travel ban, and I'm not going to tout one party or another. I'm not.
Republicans.
Yeah, I'll let Mark do it. You know, Mark is such a diehard Democrat at one point of his life.
My entire life.
Yeah. And then I mean, really...
Only because he's a businessman. Has nothing to do with Republican. I've always wanted a businessman in office.
But it's not working. And by the way,
I am not going down that
I
road
just promised I wasn't going to get political. No, let me just say this. The country, it just doesn't work. You can't run the country like a company because guess what? People don't like that.
Time will tell.
Politics just won't take it. I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing, by the way. I'm just saying he can't just go in there and say, do this, do this, do that, do that. You can do that in a company when you own it. You can say, do this. Fix that, do that, and get it all right. In a country, you can't do that because you got people say, no, I'm not going to do that unless you do this. Or what about me? You haven't coddled me. And
or if you got people from the old administration, outing people and breaking
Can you imagine how frustrating it must be, though, to be in politics? I'm not talking about just Trump. I'm talking about just being in politics. Can you imagine? Because you can't just get things done. Yeah, you can't. You got to go through all these machinations. Listen, I just said we're not political, and I start talking. I'm just talking about process now. It's just so frustrating. And by the way, I want to say something about Denver. God, are we living in a great place. You know, Stephanie and I, we were walking around Denver for the first time in a long time down in all these little neighborhoods. Have you been to Rhino? They call it Rhino.
Rhino.
River, look it up, R-I-N-O. It's River North, I think is what it says.
Where is it?
Along, where was I?
Like downtown?
Oh, she'll text me. Yeah, downtown. There's a slew of new restaurants, new graffiti by design. The old look of the buildings, they haven't been modernized.
It's the River North Art District.
It's unfreaking believable.
We were in a place like that last week, but I don't think it was Rhino.
But then from there, we went somewhere else for coffee, and we started looking at our city. Have you ever really, if you get out of your neighborhood and just look at the city, how many little pockets and little neighborhoods we have? It's starting to resemble a metropolitan area. I mean, really.
It's amazing. It's beautiful.
With their own little or their own little neighborhoods, beautiful little neighborhoods. It is unbelievably clean. Now, we do have a homeless population. It breaks my heart. We do have that problem like everyone. But I'm telling you that this city is really, really beautiful. Have you ever, Mark, just really gone into these little neighborhoods and tried different restaurants?
Just last week we went to one. I had no idea where.
No, but it's so cool to explore. You can feel like you're in San Francisco or New York. Or we saw some brownstones down on one neighborhood, or walk-ups they call them. You know, with the front little staircase. They weren't literally brown. They were brick, but what they call brownstones in New York. And you would swear you were in a little New York neighborhood. Anyway, that's a little side thing. I don't know why I got off on it, but what a beautiful city. Now, let's talk to Brianna, who wants to talk about a contractor for a driveway. Chris, who has a problem with a contractor. Isaac wants to start his own business. And we have Plumline Services, and we'll talk about free second opinions and what it really means. I have a line open. I promise I'll get to you. I was just waiting till the end of the breaks because I don't want to bring a new phone call up until the next hour. So let's get to all of your problems, questions, and complaints. I'm Tom Martino.
Hey, that the city was going to condemn that place. This might be way more than... Just let me know the assessment on it.
Affordable interest mortgage. Whether you're refinancing or purchasing your new home, we have new...
Colorado Springs, that's why. At first Yeah. No, I thought it was Pueblo. No, I thought it was Pueblo, and the only one I have to go up there is the Italian guy. I always say the Italian guy. Petroli.
And payments less than you are paying for rent. Call 720-895-0500.
No, I know you do. I really thought they were in Pueblo. But let me know, because this might be more than any of us are even imagining at this point. The more I thought about it. If they literally have had half their roof off for 4 or 5 months, I mean, my God, who knows what you're going to fall into.
All right. 930 square feet.
720-895-0500.
That'd be great.
298-191. Regulated by Dora.
Thanks, Jay. Bye.
Is Denver's talk station.
930 square foot.
I know Petroli would be down for something too, probably.
I was going to do that at first, but Jay literally texted and said, I'll help out whatever we got to do. So
I want to get this on tape to an interview.
He's going to do his guy will do a drive-by today to see what road.
Where is it, do we know?
Springs.
Do we know where? I'll ask him.
Well, we have the address.
Oh, we do?
Oh, yeah, we got all the info.
So, 930 square foot house.
Oh, it won't be that bad.
It's really a little...
What's the value of it?
162 is his estimate.
is a participant
Well, if
in any type of terror.
they got to get insurance.
The Orange County Sheriff says the 45-year-old gunman had been.
And like I say, he said it on there, and when I talked to him, he said he thought.
If half the roof blew off, that's what scares me. I mean, the damage could be ungodly.
That's what he said, half the roof blew
That's what he said.
The White House event today, Trump calling it the start of a great new era in American aviation.
Under this new plan, the Federal Aviation...
Dan, you need to go down there and maybe write a song with them.
Actually, we're going to hit a couple, we've had a couple bad people. There's another roofer.
Down there?
Roofer down there that took 40,000 from that person.
The Springs there's more criminals down there than there is here.
Really?
And the population seems to be, what, 1/10?
That's amazing with the military and everything down there.
Delays and cancellations. Trump argued
Pueblo, I
that
can
the
see.
entire aviation system in the
Oh,
U.S.
there's a
will
den of
operate more
thieves.
quickly
Pueblo.
and efficiently through privatization. Meanwhile, President
I'm glad he
Trump
dropped out of
will
that
push words
parasail.
for London's mayor
Oh,
in
absolutely.
the wake of a weekend
Absolutely.
terror attack there. Trump tweeting this morning that Sadiq Khan made a pathetic excuse for telling residents there was no reason to be alarmed after this weekend's London bridge attack. Khan's office says Trump took the statement out of context.
I was arguing with
and that
Ted
the
with
mayor
it
has,
on
quote, more
Thursday.
important things to do than respond
That's
to
it.
government
You can't win that
in a
argument.
tweet.
You know where the Bonnie Bray ice cream place is?
Wonder Woman
Yeah.
must
If you continue past that, like headed towards the highway, about 4 blocks and hang a right, there's a nice group of brand new restaurants and stuff up there. That's where we were.
You're listening to the latest from
Bonnie Bray.
You go past Bonnie Bray like you're heading towards the highway 25. You follow me?
You're going south.
South. You go about 4 blocks
South on University.
past the ice cream place.
Yes.
About 4 blocks you hang a right, and you go down 2 blocks and there's all kinds of
Gaylord.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
All the, you know, art businesses and restaurants,
Gaylord area.
a couple bars and blah blah.
That's the Gaylord area, Little Main Street.
Yeah, it's kind of wild looking. It's cool. That's all pretty new though, isn't it?
No, but it's kind of new, like, it's trending, it's getting new, I mean, it's getting new stuff. in
It
there.
was buzzing like crazy
Yeah.
when we were.
And then, so you have that, you have Pearl Street, you have Rhino, you have DU, you have, there are so, I mean, geez, it's just amazing to me how pretty they are, though. They're little trees, little sidewalks, and shops and coffee shops, and I'm thinking, God, I didn't even know this existed.
That last exit of Idaho Springs going up 70, there's a Bojo's Pizza and about 20 other restaurants. That area on the weekends, you can't even park there. It's so crazy.
I love Denver. Just love it. They are fabricators. I love every season. I don't get tired. I love winter. You know, I love this, but I don't care when it changes. I love every single season. Every season has its. I would be bored to tears with just one season.
Plus, we have 300 plus days of sunshine, more than any other state but Arizona.
I know. Oh, shut up. I can't complain.
You're
I
within
just
4
lost
feet.
it. You know what? I used to be,
At least it landed in the studio.
I used to be dead on.
See, didn't you mean to land it on the filing cabinet? Next to the Lysol bottle?
Next to the...
That's where it went.
Pointing directly at the W.
We got it on TV.
I'll do it again.
What you do is you throw it, then call the shot.
I can't even...
Left in the trash can.
I can't consistently miss.
I got it.
But what did I do? What did I do? I just have to figure that one out. Oh, almost. I think I got something. I think I figured something.
Put some water in them.
Yeah, Mark. I think I have something figured out.
Yeah. Lunch? Go ahead, for lunch. Is that empty? Give him an empty one. Come on, for lunch.
Forcing me. I need a few practices.
You wouldn't do it.
That'll cost you $24,000 for just a few days' work.
So in order to technically have a bet, if you just say bet, don't you think that's enough sometimes? Not all the time, but sometimes.
Because he says it and then thinks I'm in, and I never said okay.
No, but then he does it. So he never acknowledges there's a bet, but let's just pretend he'd still make it. If he made it, you know he would say that he won.
Just like the other day with that mechanic, he said, I bet you there's no engine there, lunch or whatever. And I said, here's what I said, why don't we just see and give the guy a break? So then we find out he's right and he says, you owe me lunch. But I never said, okay, I take that bet.
See,
It's like that is a bet where you say, okay, yeah.
he uses red tape to get around the fact that he owes the lunch.
God almighty.
I think it's got to be sealed with a handshake.
Or even like,
Yeah, but you're missing. If there was
how about a yes?
it would have been like, you owe me lunch.
Oh, yeah.
How about a yes? Dan, even you acknowledged that wasn't a bet the other day. And he said,
He owes me lunch too.
Oh, I didn't even come close. No, you're right and stuff, because you did say right away, Tom did say, let's wait and see.
He said bet.
no, I never said that.
He says, let's wait and see.
I'm pretty sure I saw an acknowledgement of like this. Okay.
This is after you started crying.
It's right after the guy. It was so funny. You picked him up on hold. He's going,
Oh,
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, sitting in the studio helping people as we've been doing for almost 40 years. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere from across the country on iHeartRadio. Yes, and again, I want to say we have had, literally, our show is downloaded hundreds of thousands of times, and we are very proud of that. One of the top downloaded podcasts anywhere. Well, here's what I want to say, though. We have gotten so many complaints because for some reason the downloading is not possible anymore because iHeart changed its algorithm or something. I just use the word algorithm. What the hell? I mean, it's just a word. They've changed something, and it doesn't download. It just streams, but they're working on it. Okay? You used to be able to get it on iTunes. You'd be able to get it online. It still streams live at any time, anywhere. You got to be in coverage area, of course, but it still streams live. I want to tell you also, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Hello.
And you can download the Facebook and YouTube, so
Right.
worst scenario.
Yeah, you could and get the audio portion of that. We have Plumline Services with us today, one of my longest-running sponsors. You know who my first sponsor was, right, in the whole world?
Jay Brett's.
No, the very first in the world.
Rolly Purifoy.
Yeah, exactly. When I found out that when we first launched and they said find a sponsor.
I don't know if you remember this, but I hosted Referral List in the Mountain Peak days for a period of time.
You did, on your servers. You're right.
Literally at the cafe.
Mark had his computer store. Mark and I would do seminars for people to introduce them to computers.
God, do you remember
Literally.
that? Who's got
Literally.
mail?
This is before people had computers at home, like on an everyday basis.
Was this before or after the auto shop?
It was way before.
Way before. So here's what we did.
It was all AOL.
We would have at Aspen Peak at his store what we called the Internet Cafe. Not at the time.
He just combined two of my businesses, Aspen, Goodyear, and Mountain Peak, into one business.
Or Mountain Peak. I'm sorry, not Aspen Peak. Okay. So we would have people come and literally. I remember having a seminar where we'd sit down and tell people, okay, the desktop on your computer is like the desktop here. Your RAM, I'm sorry, they didn't have desktops. I said your RAM is like your desk. It's whatever you have out on your desk. Your hard drive is like your filing cabinet. So you take stuff off your desk, put it in your filing cabinet, and then pull it back. We would give that. Then a file is the piece of paper where you're writing your story or whatever. So we would go through this, and I swear, people didn't have just personal computers at the time. It was a novelty. It was just fun. So listen, people, we want to talk about your problems, questions, complaints. And I also want to remind you, tomorrow night, our small business seminar, okay? Our small business seminar, no obligation whatsoever other than to show up. And it's going to be very informal. I just want to warn you of that. Informal. We'll have some snacks. And it's going to be a down and dirty work session. You can talk, you can ask questions, and we'll have some presentations. No boring speeches. Nothing to sell. Really good information. What we did is we approached it from this procedure. I went through our records to see where businesses fail the most, the biggest problems, and we're addressing those areas. So Isaac wants to start his own business. Let's talk, Isaac. What's happening? Isaac,
hi there. Sorry, sorry, I had you on the.
It's okay.
Here.
What do you?
There we go.
Starting a business is very, very exciting. What do you want to do?
Okay, so I'm a master electrician, and I've got a buddy who would like to go into business with me and start an electrical company.
Okay. You know,
Okay, and
over
he's
here,
actually, he's actually a cousin of mine.
Bob Logan over here salivating. Do you know how hard they look for good people? I mean, no,
Isaac,
seriously.
come to work for me.
No, I know. He was just thinking, please, Isaac, you must know how easy it is to get a job in your field, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a lot of demand right now.
So what do you want to do? What kind of business do you want to do?
Well, so, you know, I would like to have an electrical company. At the same time, though, I would also like to start a general contracting company.
To do what?
To do all phases of construction, in particular residential new construction, custom homes, I think is
what is your
I would
experience?
Like to specialize in.
What is your experience?
Well, from a construction standpoint, you know, my construction career has really kind of primarily been in the electrical trade, but you know, I've done lots of side work with other tradesmen that I meet.
Let me recommend this
that I'm around.
Isaac, let me recommend this for structure-wise. Since you know electric, I would start there and get the structure down, because a structure for an electrical contractor will be much the same as it is for a home builder. The actual structure. You'll have you at the head, and then your workers, and you'll have some subs, and you'll have supplies, and you'll have supply houses, and you'll have retail customers. But you need to get your structure down. So one of the first things you have to decide is the entity.
And see, that's been my dilemma right now, is because
why don't you come tomorrow night?
Partners, I do have. I would like to, and that's actually the initial.
Actually, Isaac, we'll answer any question you have, and you'll be able to talk to us one-on-one too. So, starting your own business, ask some basic questions now. We're going to cover all of them.
Okay. Well, so firstly, you know, I have two separate individuals, both relatives of mine, and I understand the I don't know, the dread of doing business with family, but you know, to that degree, to that end, I think I feel comfortable.
Well, what kind of doing business in what way, Isaac? As a partner?
So with one, I would partner for the electrical side of things, and with the other, I would partner on the general contracting side of things. Neither of these two relatives of mine have a common interest, and so I would like to have a certain amount of separability between the two.
But what I want to know is why do you want a partner at all, Isaac? That's the question first.
Well, and see, that's where I'm at too. I mean, does it make sense for me to create my own, let's say, company under the umbrella of some sort of an investment firm, right, where I retain the services of the general contractor, who would be my general contractor cousin, who I help, you know, get his business going, and manage. So I need a general contracting license for him because he doesn't have one, and he's not able to qualify for one at this point in time.
Isaac,
although he has all the connections and he
hold on a sec.
Work.
You're all over the board. Let's take one thing at a time. First question. With the electrical company, first question, why do you need a partner?
I think that the overhead costs are such that
just say it. You need capital. Is that what it is?
Yeah. To bear the capital expense, I would need a partner.
Okay. I'm going to say something. Okay. Capital, raising capital through a partnership is the most expensive capital you'll ever have, okay? It's better to get a loan or even use a credit card if you believe in what you're doing. If you want to spread the risk and you're not so sure and you want to spread the risk plus have some money, that's a different thing. But I'm saying to have a partner that just invests money and doesn't have a stake in the operation is traditionally a bad idea.
Well, he's also a master electrician.
Okay, good.
And so he would you know, be a key part in the operation of the company
that's
as well.
Different.
So he would do more than just the financial backing.
In the interest of time, we'll go through some basics. If you have someone with similar interest, he's an electrician, he wants to be part of the operation, you have to decide to what degree you want to partner. Okay, 50-50 is very seldom a good idea unless you guys have been working together a long time and know each other. Okay, is that the case?
Yeah, I would say that's definitely the case.
And so you need to have division of duties and responsibilities. And are you going to invest money yourself or just his money?
I would also invest my own money as well.
So the most simple form with you two would be, in my opinion, an LLC. Just an LLC would be very easy to form and do that, and then you can apportion ownership and responsibilities and rights and have an operating agreement. But Isaac, there are so many other things you need to get in place, and I do not suggest you start two companies at the same time ever. You need to start one, and since you're familiar with electric, I'd start that first, and then from that point, you need to then work on getting the processes down. The biggest mistakes people make, they don't plan it out. They just don't have a plan. They don't have processes, and they don't have structure. Okay?
Yeah.
So you need.
To that end, I feel like I do. As a matter of fact, at this point in time, I'm working on new construction of my own personal custom home that I completely designed and got through all of the structural engineering on my own. I haven't had any general contracting.
Okay, you say you have structure. I'm going to ask you some basic questions. And what bookkeeping do you use?
I'm sorry, what was that again?
What bookkeeping software do you use?
I use Bluebeam.
What is Bluebeam?
Bluebeam is a software that I use. It actually can be used across multiple different trades. And it's just a design software for prints or.
No, I'm talking about for accounting.
Oh, okay. Excel.
That's not a software program for bookkeeping. That's just a spreadsheet. But in any case, here's what I want you to do, Isaac. Seriously, please come tomorrow night. Suzanne can fill in the details, or go to referralist.com and hit along the menu, sign up. I don't mean to brush you off, Isaac. If you have a specific question right now, I'll answer it.
That was a perfect example, though.
So, Suzanne, ask him if he has a specific question. I'll come back to him. Otherwise, really, and we'll talk to people individually as well. You can pick our brains.
But he wants to. He's just got to learn.
Sounds intelligent enough.
Trouble up in the high country, getting reports of a serious crash. This is at US 6 in Clear Creek.
Did he say he was working right now somewhere?
Seeing some delays up there. If you can, just avoid that stretch for now. No estimated time when they'll have that crash cleared out of the way. Back in the Mile High City, seeing some delays downtown.
See that, Tom? All the way from here. You owe him lunch.
Because he said right before at lunch.
By 70, heavy in the elevated portion once again.
No, Bob emailed me. Tom bet lunch. I said, of course he'll bet lunch.
Right now, partly sunny and 74. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
Is your personal info for sale on the dark web? Monitoring your credit can't show. But LifeLock sees a wide range of threats to your identity. If something happens,
I don't have that consistency, because I was doing the same thing last night, and it wasn't. So what did you guys do? How do I hit?
Summer days are here, not those heady days of summer you love.
I think you need a little backboard up there.
If you owe back taxes, or it's been years since you filed your taxes, or if things feel
so I don't have a system. I thought I did, because the system is consistent. So
or audit taken care of once and for all. Dealing with the state or
how do I tell, where's his sizing? Would you look at this for me? You know more about this. Where do I find out what sizing?
Ron and Jack Larson, and I
okay.
professionals. They understand. They don't
WordPress?
They just deal with
what do you want to edit the size or what?
No, I want to know what size it's cramming these into.
Will get you the absolute
okay, so
I trust
Ron and Jack. What I'm talking about, like this right here.
What do you want to know?
What size is the logo? No matter what size the logo is, it makes it into one size. What size is that?
No, they actually don't. Not in WordPress, it doesn't, unless you hit thumbnail. If you just you can put in any size you want. Why do you say it crams it? Is this the referral list?
Yes.
Oh, the referral list, you might have that built in, which would be down here. Where? Appearance. Down here. Right there. And then media.
How did you get all that? Oh, that's right. You're totally a total
customizing media.
No, there's a place where that puts, let's see if it's settings, and media. Is media here? Here it is. Media, and then go to, and then here. That's it.
So that's what it's doing.
Well, I think that if that's how he has it set up, Mark.
Well, let me show you. Here's the question in real time.
Everything to solve last
Let me just get to
pillows, chin straps, even surgery, but nothing works.
It shouldn't really do it though. He must have made it.
This is what I'm saying. Every one of these are the exact same size.
Okay.
What size are they?
Okay. Did you go to media and see, or are they all
This could
different in the media library? Are they all different in the media library?
Yes, but then when you pick one, it crams it. That 150 might be correct. How do I tell if this is 150?
Well, I have a program on mine. I can actually just measure. I can actually. Let me go in. Oh, it's on my laptop. I can actually do it. I can tell you.
That's what I need to know. Because it'll take anything and cram it to that exact size.
And remember, it has to be on 72 DPI too, because if it's not 72 pixels, 72, see, that used to screw me up, because I would give dimensions, but then save it. It wasn't 72, and it would come out bigger.
And then this is the same size. When you click on it and go to the next one, this is a size too. Everyone's the identical. So in other words, it doesn't matter what size you start with, it'll make it into that size. I need those two sizes. Okay. Because then I got certain people that want to develop into that. Okay. So it doesn't look stretched, they'll just have their designers make it look right.
And the help they can give you. But application process, we go through it line by line.
By the way, I found out we do use E-Verify on every new hire.
You guys do. You're supposed to, there's just no teeth in the law.
867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. Can answer all
I don't think,
equal opportunity lender regulator.
I don't know how you would get by E-Verify. It'd be pretty hard.
For terms and conditions, call 844-45.
Because they get the license, they get the name.
Was it true?
Unless you took the whole identity.
About Obama's Social Security number belonged to a guy that wasn't him. Was that true or just I have no idea.
I know he wasn't born here. He was born in.
It just sounds too racist to me.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. I hope you never need wink and wink bankruptcy attorneys.
Husband and wife team, they do Chapter 7s and Chapter 13s, but you know what? Sometimes people have divorce, sometimes unemployment, sometimes a death in the family, sometimes they're just stupid and they need a new start. Winkandwink.com, 303-410-1720. Listen, I want to speak to you about the seminar tomorrow night. I just want to let you know that it's open to anyone. You do not have to be on the referral list, and there's no obligation to join. All right, 303-713-TALK. Plumline Service is with us. Bob Logan specifically. He's here talking about not just the company, but about things in general. And what do you think, Bob, when you hear about a guy wanting to start his own company, wanting to be an electrician?
You know, I commend him. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, even though I'm an employee at Plumline.
But I know how you feel. You think that a good employee can make really good money right now, and it's almost not worth it.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I'm serious.
Working with an established company like Plumline, a lot of these guys that work for me, like I said, they've owned their own businesses, and they realize that, you know what, I can still make as much money working for Plumline, and I've got my health insurance paid for.
Yeah.
I've got.
So you guys do health insurance for everyone?
100% paid health insurance for the entire family.
Holy crap!
That's unheard of these days.
Wow.
And, you know, and Jeff is. He treats his business and his employees the same way. He says, I want them to earn a great living.
Yeah.
I want them to have a savings plan, so we got a 401k, and I want them to have great health insurance. So he pays 100% for the health insurance.
Now, I'm not saying you know, I love people starting their own businesses, but there has to be a reason. For example, many times when people start a business, they are literally just making a job for themselves.
Oh, and they think they're going to get away with 40 or 50 hours a week.
No, they sometimes work harder. Now, other people have very specific reasons. They have hours they have to work or certain things they want to do. 303-713-TALK. Chris, speaking of contracting, you have a problem with a contractor.
Well, very long story short, Tom, I made lots of mistakes, and it's all my fault.
What did you do?
Pardon me?
What did you do? Where's the mistake? What kind of a contractor?
Well, remodel.
Okay. And when did you start this remodel? I'm going to make it easy for you. When did you start
6 weeks ago.
6 weeks. And you hired who?
I hired a guy that was the son of a guy.
Okay, he was a son of a. Okay, and is it a company or is it just someone on the side?
Someone on the side.
Okay, so this person
He's trying to start his company.
first name. First name.
Justin.
Justin. So did you pay Justin any money so far?
Yeah, all of that is over and done with.
I'm just curious, how much...
I paid him lots of money every week that he was here on a job that should have taken maximum 3 weeks.
But he's been there 6 weeks. Is it done?
No, he walked off the job. I've since found somebody else, another real company.
What was he doing for you during the 6 weeks? What kind of work? Tell me what area.
We gutted a bathroom, just
Gutted,
the upstairs hall bath.
Gutted bath, okay.
Yeah, and started over from, new wallboard.
All right. And so so the work that, these are basic questions that I think are important. The work that was done, is it adequate?
No, some of it's having to be torn out and redone.
So then I'm asking again now, there's a reason I asked this. How much did you pay total to Justin alone? How much did you pay Justin? If you added, everything you paid him out.
Labor?
Huh?
Just labor?
Well, see, that's the thing. What you paid him, period.
It was all time and materials.
Okay. Now, you paid materials directly?
No, I bought them directly.
Okay. Then how much did you pay him for his labor then?
It's probably about $4,000 at this point.
If you had someone look at that and gave you a professional opinion, would they say there's $4,000 worth of labor there?
I've done that, and no.
About how much did you get in labor?
Probably half, if that.
Okay. Now, what are you going to do about it?
Well, that remains to be seen.
Now, for example, if you got $2,000 back, let's just say you did, would you truly be whole, or are there additional damages and problems?
I would be whole.
Okay, so that's a good thing that you can summarize this in such a... Because really, on the large scheme of things, you're lucky. Because some people, when they try to do things inexpensive or at a discount or for value, what they do is they end up really getting screwed. At least here, it's not that bad. So the new guy on the job, how do you know you're not making another mistake?
I read reviews. I've gotten.
I wish you would have gone to the referral list. I'm serious, and I'm really serious when I say that.
Here's the problem I've run into with the referral list.
Yes, go ahead.
That is, and not just the referral list.
Go ahead.
But people don't. It's too small a job. I've had that happen many times.
That could happen. Now, on the referral list, we have people that do small jobs, but you're right. I'm going to tell you something. One of it's a mixed blessing. On the referral list, sometimes you have to wait because they are so good, and you have to wait, and a lot of people don't want to wait. And then the other thing is true too. As people get busier, they start culling out the smaller jobs. But for example,
that's what's happened in Denver, because if you're good at your craft and you're in the trades, there's no reason you shouldn't be working full time anywhere.
But what kind of a bathroom remodel is this? Is this a really hotsy one, or is this?
No. It's very basic.
Is it an economy job? Okay, it's like Mr. Dino's bath would have been perfect for that.
Well, and I'm kind of lamenting that I didn't do that, Tom.
He could have gone in there and did that in 3 or 4 days. I'm serious.
Right.
And so
let me tell you, in the interest of time, where I am today.
Okay, what do you need from us?
The guy left a bunch of tools here.
Yes.
And I guess in his anger. And the only reason I even know that he walked off the job was because he left a note. He just, I thought, went to lunch, didn't come back, and then found this note. And
was the note polite? What did it say?
It was polite, yeah. But
what did it say?
That I micromanage, that I I don't have it in front of me.
Okay, so he said I can no longer work? I mean, did he terminate the contract?
And there was no formal contract.
Yeah, I understand. But did he terminate your relationship with that letter?
Correct.
Okay, so where are we going with this then?
So where we are is on that note, he said that I owed him $400 and that he was going to be emailing me a final invoice. So a few days later, twice in the past 10 days, I've sent him a text saying, you've got your compressor, you've got these tools here. when can you pick them up?
And listen, you're thinking you're owed $2,000. He's thinking he's owed $400.
Well, let me finish. I just want the guy to go away. I want his tools to be gone. I do not want to be responsible for his tools, and they're in my way. So...
What would you do in a case like that, guys?
Text that he sent me
I'd put up a thing on Craigslist, free tools.
Well, I see, but I don't know, Mark, if that's
No.
legally
You wouldn't
able
really
to
do that. No, I'll tell you this, though.
I'd wait about 30 days, and I'd do it if I didn't want to keep them.
I'd give him, can you put them in your garage or somewhere away from...
That's what I've done.
I would truly consider confiscating them. How much are they worth?
I don't think a lot. This compressor pretty broke down and old.
Yeah.
But, and then a couple of other hand tools that I don't think are worth really...
Why isn't he coming around?
I don't have a clue. I don't know. The last text he said in response to mine was that he is finalizing my invoice and that he would bring it when he came to pick this stuff up. And he said Monday, as in today, or so, quote. So I don't, I don't know what my legal rights are. I don't think there's any money in this, even though I'm sure that when he gives me this final invoice, because I've got an electrician, a professional electrician here now that's going to cost me a lot.
What do you want from us? What do you want? Tell me what I can do. You want us to call the guy? Yeah, what do you want to know?
She just wants advice on this situation.
Okay, on the tools, you have to give him notice and you have to take due course, okay? You don't have to do as if you have a contract and a storage agreement, but you do have to give him notice and say, come and get
a letter?
Yeah, but he's coming to pick them up today or tomorrow, you said.
That's what he said. I don't know.
Listen, I would do a letter in writing, email with a letter, a real letter, and I would say, come and get them or I'm disposing of them. I'm going to dispose of them within, and I'd give them a certain amount of time. How much time do you think is reasonable at this time? I think 1 week would be totally fine. What would you say, Bob Logan?
That's more than enough time. A couple days. I mean, if this guy needs to make a living, he needs the tools.
I have to give him 30 days or something?
No, there's no law on this thing. Okay. There's just common sense. Or
exactly.
I'm saying there might be common law on it, from previous court cases, but I don't think that it's anything that comes to mind. I know you have to take reasonable care. You can't just throw them out on the street.
Oh, no,
but if you just write him a letter and dispose of them, what is he's not going to do anything about it. That's what I would do, okay? That's what I would do. I would write a letter, keep track of it, give him a week, and then say I'm disposing of them. Speaking, yes, go ahead.
I feel bad for her because I understand. She's right. Anybody who's worth their weight has a good job right now.
Exactly.
All the good contractors are employed. All the exceptional contractors are employed by Plumline.
No, you do. You have to wait. So what do you do?
You may have to wait.
I think some of the problems we're running into are people who can get to the job quickly, and then they say, I need money down, and some of them never even come back.
But you know what? I bet we get 10 or 20 calls a week from people who are in this exact situation.
Yep.
They tried, and I'm not saying she was trying to save a few $100s.
Well, she was.
But people try to save a few $100s, or even a couple $1,000, and it ends up costing them a lot more in the long run.
Let's talk about that, by the way. You should have called Genesis Total Exteriors, and they do interiors as well. He could do it. But you know what? You're right. Good people are going to be busy. But I'll tell you one thing about Mark. He'll never take money and not do the work, and you can trust him. Mark Szymanski, Genesis Total Exteriors, now getting into solar windows, passive solar windows that actually pay for themselves over time. 303-679-8509, GenesisTotalExteriors.com.
I need to find out about the solar windows. They're so cool.
Yeah, email you.
They're not substantially expensive compared to my good windows.
Oh, we never added it to them. We'll add it
We were
right
at
now.
Cherry Creek Mall, Carl and Joe.
Well, I don't want to add it to them. Because you know what will happen is everybody will call them up for solar. They don't do solar.
His website doesn't have solar windows. If the solid windows doesn't have
That's what I mean,
So he needs to get his website up there.
Yeah, but I don't think he wants to do that either, because then everybody's going to be calling him about traditional solar.
But just under Windows, he doesn't even mention solar windows.
Has seen all kinds of cases on personal injury, and he can give you an honest assessment of that case. Personal injury is nothing to fool around about. The other side will always try to minimize your claim. The other side will always try to make it.
You say they have a couple really radical who their preachers are.
Their mayor's pretty radical.
I'm going to work Rocky and
and their preachers and stuff, they'll say that I think everyone
something else.
They're not preachers, clerics.
Clerics, right.
303-597-4500. Here's the deal. Don't let someone get away with
No, they truly believe that women should not be.
No, but he says that, and he said Paul.
Does the mayor say that?
JohnRFuller.com. JohnRFuller.com.
I found the crying clips. Drew's working on that. And then, so this is
Follow it
weird.
up.
Guy hires Petrolli Roofing. The guy overseeing the job for Petrolli stops and starts his own business, convinces the guy to go with him.
Oh, yeah.
4 months later, no roof.
That's not a problem with the trolley.
That's not a problem with the trolley. Is he complaining?
He's not complaining about Petrolli. I was going to put him on the air. I just want you guys to know that's why Petrolli.
So we can tell him what an idiot he is. My God, can you imagine that? Can you imagine if one of your guys did that?
All the years happen. Have you ever had that happen where somebody did a side job? God, that's a mortal sin.
But side job.
Yes.
No, but being the one they sent
I
out.
get you, but like he's out there and says, look, I can do this a lot cheaper.
Right. And then I'll come back on a Saturday or Sunday on my day off.
So what do they tell you? Oh, they decide not to do it? Well, you guys have customer
Did you
service
ever get,
calls and
but did you ever
around.
did you ever get a complaint about that?
Get this. 2 years back, we get a complaint saying we flooded this lady's house because we didn't reset the toilet right, and she wanted us to pay for all the hardware and everything.
And I know who I'll call.
Come to find out, we didn't do the job. We said, she goes, I wrote a check to, and
So-and-so that worked for you.
Send me a copy of the check. She sent it, and it was to one of our excavators for $99. So he lost his job over $99, and she was out of luck. She knew exactly what she did.
Yeah.
She hired him on the side for $99.
What did he do?
He you know, we got our $99 drain, back then we had our $99 drain cleaning special. It's extra to pull and reset a toilet. And so we had a drain tech go out and say, you know, there's an extra charge to pull and reset a toilet. The special's for normal access. And then somehow he got involved.
I had a guy show up at one of my shops, same deal, said, this alternator you guys installed
Is that what you want?
died, we need the warranty. So I pull it up, he said, no computer, he's nowhere. Same thing, man. One of my employees did it that, you know, worked for me over a year ago, so the guy wasn't even there. And the check was made out to the employee.
Right.
That's the part that blew me away.
You're the one who employed him, you should cover me.
Yeah, right. We had a body shop that worked for a big one, like Mike Shaw or, God, I can't remember, it was a big dealership, and it was the body shop manager. He took in this vehicle, but the difference was he was the manager. They fixed and repaired the actual vehicle at that body shop, but the guy wrote the check to the manager. It was really weird.
Mark, when you got ripped off for a lot of money, how did he rip you off? Through the cash register or with suppliers?
Suppliers, equipment, and vendors. So he bought a bunch of equipment. No, he was opening his own damn automotive shop on my nickel. And then he took over 100,000 in tires.
100,000
in tires. It's a truck one. It's one semi.
Did you get any reimbursement?
I got like $88 so far.
What?
Yeah.
Is he in jail?
He was for 2 years. He's out. He could be back by now.
I still get a check for a guy who died in court.
The donut guy?
Yeah. How do you know that? You remember that?
I know everything.
I still get a couple $100 every now and then.
This guy will never work. I mean, no one would hire him, so he's, you know, he's scamming on the table.
You know that donut guy,
Crispy.
pissed so many people off.
You don't think he intentionally did it, though, do you?
You shine like a star.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe where we are fighting for you. Now, let's keep going. We got some major problems erupting here, and we're working behind the scenes. Now, this one guy called about this company, O&O Performance, also aluminum radiator. These companies are the same. There are other names. The guy's name is Ed Jones. Ed insisted that he was sick, he's dying. Now, he might be, by the way. And then he said, I couldn't afford to get the guy's engine out of the machine shop. He took $5,000 up front from this guy. Now, this is not the only victim. This is the victim that called us. Since we've heard from several people, and then Mark has done some investigation online and found a lot of victims, this guy takes money and basically doesn't do the work. Now, Ed Jones over at O&O Performance said, I'm dying, I can't afford to get the engine out of the machine shop. Mark said, there's no machine shop. He said, yes, there is. And he was so emotional. He says that we're taking a toll on him. His illness is flaring. He's dying. He said that there is a machine shop, and we asked for the name. He gave us a name of who? Raul?
Jose?
Who was it?
Javier.
Javier. Okay, Javier. We called Javier. We got in touch. First of all, the engines that Javier has in his shop, they have nothing to do with Ed Jones. Is that right, Deputy Dan?
That's right. He had a couple, he was supposed to be a 427 aluminum block.
So basically, Ed Jones has no work for him.
Oh, no, he had work there for him, but he didn't have that 427.
What did he have?
He had a couple 350s, a 383.
Oh, he did have some from Ed Jones.
That's what he said.
Okay. The engine, this guy's engine was not there. He said he bought all the parts equaling $5,000 and sent it to the machine shop. Now, we have no idea where the $5,000 went, and the machine shop does not have an engine. Ed Jones was basically lying to us. Now, this is how he sounded when I picked up the phone and he was on hold. He was crying. Listen. Isn't that pitiful? We felt sorry for him.
You did?
Well, I did. I hear this guy and I'm thinking, wait, I don't think that's fake. I don't think it's fake. Anyway,
sounds like a mule.
So now I'm not going to make fun of a dying, crying man. But so I say to the man, I say to him, listen, I'm sorry about this. Let's help you. You know, let's get this engine. Let's get it from you. I can pay the machine shop possibly. I wanted to try to help this consumer, or maybe the consumer could pay. And he just kept saying, I'm dying, I'm having problems, Mr. Martino, you don't know what I've been through. Then he said all of the negative reviews were all phony, and the people that really love him are plentiful, but they don't put up reviews. Now, by the way, I do know there are a lot of phony reviews. I know there are, positive and negative. I don't dispute that. But how do you have all negative reviews? See, that's the thing that gets me. I kept asking him, how do you have all negative reviews? How? Now stop. That sounds sincere to me.
Mark.
Suzanne, what do you...
I don't think that's sincere.
You know what, Tom?
That's sincere.
Mark's being mean, but I personally think he sounds like a 3-year-old that's truly crying, that's throwing a tantrum, trying to get attention.
I think he's sick.
You think that's real?
Yes.
That crying?
Yep.
I think the crying's real. But it's like a 3-year-old.
No, that's real.
That is
That's
forced.
real.
It's forced.
That's guttural.
It's
that's
forced.
Mark, that's...
Is that close?
No.
Okay, give me one more shot.
That was good.
No, listen. Now, Mark. But I want to say something. I just want to say something. This man, he may be sick and dying, but I'm going to say something, maybe it'll sound cruel. That's no excuse.
No, of course not.
It's no excuse. Now, if all of a sudden you took some money, you were doing a job, you come down with some illness, I mean, okay, that's...
Let's not forget some of the complaints we read about were from 2012.
Yeah. So what do you think? Does this sound real to you? It sounded real, but it's not an excuse.
I think it's forced.
The guy, I think, had bad character before this illness. It just sucks.
If there is an illness.
Now, let's talk to Brianna. Hi, Brianna. What's going on?
Hi.
What's happening?
We purchased a house back in December.
Yeah.
And part of our problem was that we needed a good portion of our sewer line replaced. So the homeowner, who was also the seller of this house, paid a company, I believe the name is Pueblo Drain and Excavation.
By the way, I would never pay to have something done. I would never let the owner do something when he's on his way out. But go ahead.
Yeah, lesson learned.
Yeah, they're never never, ever, ever, ever will they do the job like it should be. I don't care who they are.
Right.
They're just not going to care as much. And so, to make a long story short, I see these photos. He didn't tamp the soil or treat it properly. You can see it's cracking and settling.
Yeah, he didn't put all the fill dirt back in.
Right.
He left a big pile of it on the side of the driveway. Didn't tamper it down. So that rain that we got about a month ago destroyed the driveway.
Of course.
And
so the water, is that where the crack came from?
Well, he had only replaced like a 2 by 10 foot section of the driveway, so there was, a crack, a natural crack in between them.
But that big long crack on the first picture, that goes all the way across the driveway. Is that as a result of his work, or is that a result of the rain and stuff? I think it's a combination of the two. I think so. It wasn't cracked before.
Yeah, but it wasn't that bad. I think him not tampering down or filling up all of the fill dirt. I think that is what. Okay. We got the rain.
Now, Brianna, it's called, by the way, tamping, where they really compress the soil. Tamping. Yeah. And then after that, they should put some kind of base down, unless it's good base. And normally it's not. You still need a little base, and then you need reinforcement, like either fiber or metal. Well, with the residential driveway, it might be in the mix. So here's what I'm saying: it's a lousy job. What is he going to do about it?
Well, apparently he's not going to do anything, which is why I'm calling you, because I'm hitting a wall with ideas of how to get.
How'd you find this guy?
We didn't. The homeowner that we purchased the house from. Oh, that's
right. Now we have a problem. Okay.
So I've called the guy. His name is Armando, with Pueblo Drain and Excavation, I believe. I've called him. I was in contact with him for about a month.
Will Armando do anything?
No. Well, he retaliated. So he came out and looked at it and said, yeah, we
Okay, hold on. I have to take this quick break. I really do. Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal. Whether you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, or van, you can get it at Rocky's. And remember this, Rocky's is your all-season dealer. They have cars for all seasons, all-wheel drives, four-wheel drives, convertibles, a lot of coupes. Go see them. And by the way, I just want you to know, they have all makes, models, colors, and price selection, 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8, 303-426-4646.
Can mesothelioma be caused by carbon monoxide?
Is there any other one you don't like? Mostly asbestos.
Who was going to bid?
I did Rockies. That's what I said.
No, it's all fine. Did you hear what I said, though? Yeah. Is that possible?
Caused by what?
Carbon monoxide. He's completely changed his thing. This is Ed Jones. He says, this is because my damage from long-term exposure to carbon monoxide. His 160 IQ is not what it used to be.
Right now, partly sunny and 78.
This is your buddy.
Traffic and weather. I'm Pete Swagman.
Nothing. It could be radiation. Sometimes radiation.
Dark web.
What is he going to do about it?
He's not going to do anything.
Did you call back? Did anyone call him back to tell him we? Okay.
No.
I think we should call him and get him on the air. Tell him we found out that there's no engine over there. I'll offer this guy.
Dangerous Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
Excel Roofing is one of.
He was going to be a broadcaster, by the way.
And that's good news for you.
He went to Columbia School of Broadcasting.
The owner, Jay Brett,
and he was going to work on KHOW.
That's why he never puts a
cancellation
or penalty fee in his contract. He doesn't want to force you to do business. He wants you to want to do business with him. And he never says
this is great, too.
He only collects when the job is done. And never a blank contract. At Excel Roofing, they take clients and give them full contracts with everything.
His ailment now is carbon monoxide.
They should get. And then he negotiates.
And he's using speech recognition software.
Settlement 303-761-6400. You never pay
Bob,
a dime until
I need to do another Tuesday soon. We need to really hit it. Jeff, last time I was Jeff, he said he really likes that. And that was reinforced what you guys are doing, so let's pick a topic. Okay. I'm available, basically.
And you switch me over. I'm talking to Steph when I'm out of town.
Who are you talking to?
Ed Jones.
So let me,
just get him to come on the air.
let me tell you what I'm out of town.
Get them to come on.
Other than that, you can just, you don't have to just now go.
Talk them on the air.
I'm only out of town.
Our time-tested
Smart.
In June, hello, I'm only out of town at the end of the any Tuesday in June is fine. We're already, yeah. So the 13th, 20th, or 27th.
If we decide to do it on Wednesday, does that work for you?
No, Wednesday's fine. Any Wednesday. Any Wednesday.
Because we're switching up our training schedule a little bit. That's why I'm asking that.
Any Wednesday of this month or in July. In July.
Just not the week of the 4th.
Do it the right way.
Any.
Say the ideal way. Here to explain is Brent Ivinson, president of Ideal Home Loans. So many
in
people
July.
have equity in the account. This is one of the ways you can truly let your mortgage.
Why do we have John Mayer's show on my calendar? Did you put John Mayer's concert on my calendar?
We're not going to have you
show calendar.
I put it on my calendar. You have my calendar.
No, but that. Oh, okay, that is yours. Sorry.
How do we get started? You can call.
You took advantage of him, by the way.
7000 or apply online at idealhomeloans.com. Call now.
He starts referring to you as Thomas.
And let's pick the topic.
7000 or idealhomeloans.com.
So if we did it the 27th or 28th, that would work for you?
Real estate. NMLS number 136.
One thing we should talk about, maybe. Yeah, the 27th or 28th of June.
Yes.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Financing 80% loan to value. Ideal home.
I understand it now.
Yeah, the 28th.
We'll plan on that, and we'll just clarify which day that is.
Okay, that's a Wednesday, the 28th.
The 28th is a Wednesday.
And then I'm thinking,
manage your candidates from
one thing.
dashboard.
Do you want to
study 5 times more hires?
Do you want to do something about generally just increasing the likelihood of getting reviews and stuff, and how to do it? Do you think that's going to be one thing? Because I know how to pin people for reviews in a good way.
Yeah. We use an aggregator right now, Review Buzz.
Good.
And so it's a very simple process, but like Yelp is starting to penalize companies for using aggregators.
How do they even know you're using it?
I don't know. But it started in California. A lot of the contractors I know in California and Texas are getting hammered right now. Their Yelp rating went from like 4.8 stars down to
Be sure and check your shoulder.
They dropped off like hundreds of their reviews because what Yelp is, the understanding that I have from our
property now. Join me Monday. We're a reference talk for
because
you.
Yelpers have many posts. When you're driving people through a review website, they can pinpoint that they're not a normal Yelper.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
I figured out Ed's problem, Ed Jones.
What?
He doesn't charge enough because he's very disheartened when he can't make people happy with his low prices. That's what he says. That sounds like that donkey from Shrek. That's it. That's what it is.
Get the donkey.
Get the donkey from
and
Shrek.
let's play them side by side. I refuse to believe that. 303-713-TALK. Frank Duran, the real estate man, by the way, is the ultimate real estate guy. If you need help in buying or selling property, just remember Frank Duran, the realestateman.com, 303-920-1622. I can't even begin to tell you the level of service this guy does, and I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he has the energy to do it. It's one thing when you have, you're not busy, but when you're busy and you do that, that's incredible. Anyway, let's talk about your problems. Okay, so Brianna has this contractor. The home seller paid for it. The contract was with the home seller. Brianna truly doesn't have standing here, technically. So Brianna, you really have a gripe with the seller of the home, technically. All right, what technically did the seller pay for? What did he contract him to do? Okay, right, and then what else? That's fine. Okay, so did he use a sub? the guy. Okay, if I were you with this Pueblo guy, I would negotiate a refund, or I would... You know, here's the deal, Brianna. I'm going to go back to my original thought because it's right. You need to go after it. Look, the seller agreed. I don't know how it was put in writing. Agreed to do something, and it's not delivered. It's not. It's not delivered. You have more strength there with that contract than going after a guy that did not even do the job for you. Let him put a pressure on the other guy. Let him do it. Even you could tell the seller. Well, don't tell the seller. The seller's going to be upset with you, Brian. But you know what? He did not deliver. He did not deliver. And you can say, look, I need this done. I know you said you were getting it done. I'm sorry it wasn't adequate. And that's it. That's where I would go.
Tom, I don't understand why these contractors don't just step up and do what's right. He can't even point fingers because he did the whole job from start to finish.
Exactly. And the guy should do it. But you see what I'm saying about the seller of the home.
If you made a mistake, that's fine. We make mistakes. We're not perfect, but we're going to step up and take care of it every single time.
Even if it's technically not your problem, sometimes it's not. And
sometimes it's not, and we still step up.
Exactly. Say, get it done. Yes.
Let's compare these real quick.
Okay, hold on, though. Brian has a comment on Ed Jones. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, Tom, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I need to let you know I'm not calling about his business practices. I cannot attest to those at all.
Yeah.
If the man's guilty, he's guilty. But about a year and a half ago, I worked for FedEx, and I delivered to Ed twice a week.
Yes.
And I can attest that the man has some kind of respiratory cancer, and his coughing and hacking fits and his crying breakdowns are due to his medication. So that part of it is legit.
Okay, man, I appreciate you calling. Thank you. That I think is legit. Mark didn't. Well,
I guess so, if that guy says so.
What were you going to say?
Well, I'm just saying I found something that's very similar.
But we can't play it on the radio. It's on your phone.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay. I wanted Brutus to do it. Hold on. Okay, now play his. I don't know. You think it's? I don't think.
I think it's close. I think the guy shouldn't be running around stealing $5 grand from that guy.
No,
that's what I really think, Ed.
Let's get to the point. The true point is he took $5,000 and he spent it.
And he's lied. We also called up that machine shop, and there's nothing over there, Ed.
He told us he bought parts. Okay, let's see the receipts. The parts are nowhere to be found. He said he took those parts to the machine shop. Javier at the machine shop says, we have no parts for this guy. We don't have an engine for this guy.
And he's the only person I've ever seen on Google, Yelp, BBB.
100% negative.
All ones.
100% negative.
One.
Right. 100% negative.
Okay, I just talked to Ed on that engine and stuff, and he said it's a bored out 350. So when I talked to Javier, Javier didn't understand that
so it's not a 427.
It is bored out to a 427, but it's a 350. It's
okay,
a small
so
block.
Does he have that engine? Does he have?
I haven't checked with him and stuff.
Let's call Javier and find out.
See how much, so we can get this guy his engine.
Let's find out if Ed Jones really did send an engine over there and about how much he spent in parts, and if we can help out, we will. We do not wish any ill on Ed. He's going through enough. However, we still have a problem we have to solve.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for talk radio, and we've made this app so you never have to be without us again. You can take 630 KHOW wherever you go and never miss more irreverent talk radio on The Michael Brown Show. iHeartRadio keeps you connected to KHOW so you never miss a thing. And while we were at it, we went ahead and picked thousands of the best stations all across the country so you can stay connected with us and listen to stations from all around the country. It's super easy. Just download the free iHeartRadio app now.
I'm Tom Martino for Ideal Home Loans. They have the rate guarantee. If rates go down, they will refinance you free of charge. 303-867-7000. Check out their pre-approval. It's like a cash offer. Already approved. Not pre-qualified. Approved. All you need is the appraisal. 303-867-7000. 867-7000. Equal opportunity lender regulated by DORA. NMLS 136756. For terms and conditions, call 844-45-IDEAL.
This is Denver's talk station. More with Martino after the news on 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. KHOW, Denver.
NBC News Radio. I'm Lisa Carter. President Trump is calling for the privatization of the nation's air traffic control system.
For too many years, our country has tolerated unacceptable delays at the airport, long wait times on the tarmac, and a slowing of commerce and travel that costs us billions and billions of dollars.
The president unveiling his proposal at a White House event today. He wants a self-financing, non-profit private organization to be in charge. President Trump, meanwhile, keeping the heat on London's mayor. On Twitter today, Trump blasting Civic for saying there was no reason to be alarmed after the London Bridge terror attack. Khan's office says the remark was taken out of context. Trump says Khan's explanation is a, quote, pathetic excuse. The man responsible for today's deadly workplace shooting in Florida has been identified as a disgruntled former employee. Orange County Sheriff Jerry Deming says the 45-year-old man had been fired back in April. He says the man fatally shot 4 people inside an RV accessories business before killing himself. The nation's highest court plans to take up a case involving cell phone privacy in the fall. At issue is whether police need search warrants to access records tracking the movements of wireless phone users. The justices will hear an appeal by a Michigan man who was arrested for robbery after investigators used phone records to establish that he was near the scene of the crime. You've seen it happening all across the country. Now several groups are banding together to try to get Confederate monuments in Arizona taken down.
The NAACP, members of the Black Lives Matter movement, and several clergy members are asking Governor Doug Ducey today to start the process of immediately removing the Confederate flags and monuments in the Phoenix area. The groups believe the monuments glorify slavery, while others say the Civil War is part of U.S. history and the monuments need to stay. Recently, Confederate memorials have been removed from cities across the country.
Jason Capadonia reporting. You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock.
Mostly sunny today with a chance of afternoon thunderstorms and a high of 86. We drop down to 54 tonight with more showers. Mostly sunny and cooler tomorrow with a high of 76. We're up to 79 on Wednesday with another chance of afternoon storms.
Is your personal info for sale on the dark web? Monitoring your credit can't show you. But LifeLock sees a wide range of threats to your identity. If something happens, U.S.-based specialists can work to fix it. Go to lifelock.com. Use promo code RISK. Save 10%.
Are you a taxpayer deep in debt to the IRS? If so, then listen carefully to this special public announcement. Due to consumers facing difficulty in the ongoing U.S. economic downturn, the Internal Revenue Service is now accepting reduced settlements from individuals who owe back taxes. Participation in special initiatives by the IRS can reduce your payments by thousands of dollars. A special hotline has been established by National Tax Credit Group to enroll suffering citizens during this crisis. Call the Special Service Hotline to see if you qualify for this historic relief opportunity during the ongoing economic downturn. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone. 800-639-4402. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, you may now qualify for substantial relief. The IRS is now accepting reduced settlements, resulting in some tax debts being reduced by thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify for your reduction, call this new Special Service Hotline now. 800-639-4402. 800-639-4402. That's 1-800-639-4402.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help! I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino on 630 KHOW.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. We are here solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live across the country on iHeartRadio, and you can get us too. Again, I want to acknowledge right up front, we do have your complaints about the podcast not being available for download. You can still stream anytime you want, not only live, but anytime. But when you try to save it, they don't let you. It's a new system that iHeart is using. They're working on it. But right now, you won't find us on iTunes and the others, and I know there are many, many people disappointed with that. We're trying to work on it. 303-713-8255. What is going on in your life? Plumbline Services is here, and Bob's been chiming in. He's the general manager in plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. I've known Plumline for years. If you have any questions specifically for their areas of expertise, give us a call. We've been talking about anything you call about and need help with. And when it comes to HVAC, there's usually not anything until something breaks. I mean, it's not like you call and say, hey, I'd like to get my furnace checked. I've never done that except when you had the special. I've done it because you had the special only and because you're my sponsor, and also because sometimes when I'm buying a home or getting ready to sell a home. But that is one of the things I think, Bob, it's not an easy sell to check your furnace because it works or it doesn't. I don't know what people... what would motivate someone to check their furnace if it's working, I'm saying?
Most people don't unless their utility bills skyrocket, or maybe all of a sudden they start noticing some real hot and cold spots, or hear funny noises or funny smells.
Yeah.
But you're typically right. Most of our calls come after the fact.
But really and truly, can checking a furnace truly prevent a serious problem?
Well, many times we can identify something that may be wrong.
It might be happening. But can it really, I'm saying, can it catch something before it becomes major? And really, I know with a car you can, but really with a furnace...
you can. Furnace, air conditioner. And that's
something that you think if you don't look at could actually get worse and cost more money?
That's where our specials come into play. Like right now we got a $39 air conditioning system check. We'll come out. It's a 22-point inspection, and basically we're checking temperatures, pressures, a bunch of things.
But what I'm saying is you find stuff. You give them a written report, right?
Right. We'll give them a written report, and if we identify things that, hey, this might not be broken right now.
No, I get it. And then you say you won't be caught without heat. That's without air conditioning. I get that part. But what I'm asking is there anything usually that comes up that could cause more damage? It's not like a car in that regard. That's what I was wondering.
You're right. So like a car not getting fixed all of a sudden.
Like you could, if you don't align, you could end up with another problem with shocks, or if you don't do something with one part, you could end up blowing another. And I'm wondering, with heating, air conditioning, water tanks, or anything. Mark, can you think of anything that if you don't take care of would get worse? I think a leak would, obviously, but I can think of nothing on a furnace that if you don't take care of it would lead to another failure.
How about the filter itself?
Okay, that's one. That's just simple maintenance, right?
Right, but it's the #1 call we get. I mean, when people's air conditioner or furnace is not working, our technicians show up. Many times it's just an impacted filter. People are not changing them out often enough. And that is just like an oil change. Mark, am I right? The best thing you can do for your car is get regular oil changes. Change your filter regularly. That is going to keep the major damage from happening.
PlumlineServices.com. Let's talk, Mark, about Ed Jones. Ed Jones was the guy who, when we confronted him on the air, he started crying. Now listen, I do want to say this. We think he has a life-threatening disease, but it's still not, that's what he told us, not an excuse for taking $5,000 and not doing the work. However, we are verifying some stuff, and it looks like he's not lying as much as you thought, Mark.
I want to verify
Tom, I just got off the phone with him, and I offered again. He says we're telling half-truths. I said, come on and tell Tom. He did not want to put you in the predicament of embarrassing yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, I want him to explain his 160 IQ to me as well, which is in his letter.
Mark, here's the bottom line. We did verify. Where is Deputy Dan?
I don't know what happened to him. I have a part number for him to verify this part number that Ed gave me.
We verified there is a block, a 350 block, and accessories, actually an engine over there, and it was honed out, and it needs to be, or bored out. It needs to, and about $100 worth of work. So there is an engine, and there are some parts. Mark, could that have cost $5,000?
I don't know what it costs, but the guy doesn't have it back.
But there's an engine there.
I guess so.
And if we can get it back for $100 for the consumer...
It sounds like there's just a block there. I don't know how much a block is. We should call
and ask somebody. No, it's the block with the, I think he said the cylinders or the pistons are in it.
We got to ask Dan, but I think there's nothing. It's just the block, but I don't know.
Well, he gave me a specific part number to verify.
What we're trying to verify, did he just piss away the money? Did he just spend it, or did he spend it on something for the customer? And is it truly at the machine shop? And can we at least salvage this job? Okay, that's what we want to talk about. Now, I understand that Brianna still has a problem with her driveway. I'm not sure what I can do for her. In this case, the seller said, we're going to replace the sewer line and fix the driveway before you buy it. He hired somebody, they did a mess, and the driveway's cracked. So the bottom line is, what can she do? I say you go after the seller because that was a condition of sale. It's not your fault he hired a bozo, and he hasn't delivered on the promise. Brianna, what's your remaining issue?
Well, the remaining issue is that the seller is non-responsive, because I've tried contacting him and he refuses to answer when I call.
I'd bring a lawsuit. I'd bring a lawsuit in small claims court. I would. I'd bring a lawsuit for the cost of repair, saying this is something that was supposed to be done. It's not your problem. You do not have a contract with the other guy. He can't slough it off.
Right, and the other issue is that the guy that did the work, after becoming non-responsive to my texts and phone calls, he came and dumped 500 pounds of dry cement mix all over my driveway.
Wait, dry cement?
Yes.
What, powder?
Not in bags.
Why?
Not in bags, just powder and rocks.
Oh, wait, but in bags. It wasn't like...
No, it was not in bags.
Wait,
it was in a huge pile.
He took a... Was this like a revenge thing, or do you think he was getting ready... Wait. Do you think he literally vandalized your property, or was he getting ready to do a job? Let's be realistic.
No, he dodged all of my phone calls after telling me on 3 separate occasions.
Do you have a picture of this?
repair
Do you have a picture of what he dumped?
Yeah, I texted it to you guys.
I didn't get that. I thought you guys cleaned it up.
Get that photo. Are you sure it wasn't in preparation of doing the driveway? I mean, I just can't believe he would just do that. Now, Deputy Dan, you were out of the room when we were talking about this very important problem here that you're in the middle of. Right. The guy does have a 350 block, or does it have the pistons in it?
No. He's just waiting to get it honed out. He's waiting for Ed to tell him exactly what
It's just a block.
It's just the block. It's a new block. The caller didn't realize what he had. He thought it was aluminum block. It's aluminum heads is what they're going to put on there.
But the heads are not at the machine shop.
No, it's just the block.
So what's that block worth?
I don't know what the block is worth, but
Mark, $1,500, $1,600?
I have no idea, man.
But it's going to only take him $100 to do what he needs to do at the machine shop.
So where are all the other parts?
Ed's supposed to have them.
Okay. This just gets crazier and crazier. And then the guy claims Anyway, that's the response we get from Ed. Ed is he uses his illness as an excuse, and I'm thinking, okay, I feel badly for you, sir. Really, that doesn't give you a license to take money. It doesn't. Okay, let's keep going. All right, Bill, what's going on with you, Bill? Welcome, Bill. Bill's not there. I'm going to go to Ray. Ray, what's happening with you? Hello, Ray.
Yeah, how you doing?
What's happening?
My car. Well, I had $37,000 worth of hail damage back in July here in the spring.
Holy crap!
Yeah, well, 4 or 5 buildings or whatever. I went to your referral list.
Yes.
Excel came out and they said they only do roofing, and I would have to get the other stuff done. I said, well, thank you very much.
Sure.
So I went to Petrelli.
Yeah.
Roofing.
Well, I think Petrelli only does roofing too, right?
Well,
they do some siding and stuff.
I signed up with them.
Good.
And
they're a great company.
Well, it took a while, and so
what took a while, sir? What took a while?
Well, for them to get going, this guy Clint Edwards.
Okay, but Ray, if you use the referral list, I want to help you, absolutely help you.
Well,
you said it took a while. What I need to know is, when you said it took a while, did they complete the job?
No, because the 2 guys, Mike, who was on your show many times from Petrelli at the time, and this other guy, Clint, who is sort of the general manager, broke away from Petrelli and formed their own business.
Wait a minute. They broke away and started their own business while they were on, while they were on your roof?
Well, I signed a contract with Petrelli.
Okay.
And the general manager, or this guy Clint, came out and he started telling me, Petrelli's having major problems, money problems.
Well, they're not, and that's bad form. But here's what I want to know. Did you cancel your contract with Petrelli?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, Clint made a letter for me. I signed it.
Okay, so you canceled with, I just wanted to make sure you did not have a problem with someone on my referral list, and you did not. Okay, so the problem you're having is not with my guy, Petrali.
Exactly.
Okay,
Correct.
what is the problem?
Well, the roofing, Mike did a great job on the roof. And the other guy, Clint, one guy did the roofing, that's no problem. The other guy was going to do the windows, vinyl siding, gutters.
And that's Clint.
And that's Clint.
Okay.
This was in February 1st. I gave him a check of $8,600.
And now we're talking, you gave the check to Clint or to their new company?
No, Clint. It's Horst Edwards Contracting.
Okay.
And he assured me this will get done pretty quick.
So the roof is bought and paid for and done?
And done. And
okay, gotcha.
I'm very pleased with that, except for 2 vets.
Okay, that's fine. So now we have Clint with $8,600 of your money, and he's supposed to do what?
Replace, 2 home windows, which those are in.
Yeah.
One doesn't fit properly.
Yeah.
And then 4 windows to my patio room. 3 windows and a patio door.
Basically for windows. Did he do the job?
Vinyl siding and the vinyl siding.
Windows and siding. Did he? How much of the job is done?
30%.
Okay. Is he going to? Is he going to finish?
Well, that's the problem. I've been the nice guy and going on and on and on, and then he said he's been having problems. He had a scheduling thing. He told me by June 19th it'll be all completed.
Okay, and it's not.
I said, great.
It's not yet. It's not June 19th yet.
No.
Why don't you just wait?
2 days later, he called. He said, "Oops, I got a scheduling problem." And
Do you know what that means? Here's what that means.
Yeah.
I'm going to decode that.
My money.
Huh?
He spent my money.
That's right. It means I have to get more money.
Exactly.
Because I don't have enough to finish. And they had the nerve to say that Petrali had money problems.
Yeah, I know. That's again, I should have stuck with them, but I was believing.
This sucks. Well, we can put in a call. I mean, I don't know.
Like that.
I mean, we would definitely look. This is what we call the Contractors Trust Act. Why don't we give Donovich, is that guy's name that started the company? Donadich. Let's give him a taste of reality now that he's not working for Petrali and he thinks is that Mike Donadich, was it?
Yes, I'm texting him
now. And the other guy was Clint who? Clint Clown. Let's give them a dose of reality with their new company and talk about the Contractors Trust Act and how they're going to end up in really big trouble. Really big trouble. All right? Brent Ivinson from Ideal Home Loans. Let's talk about buying now and getting help with a down payment. What do you mean?
Well, there's a lot of options out there. A lot of people are under the impression you need to have a lot of money to put down to buy, and that's not the case. We are a CHAPA-approved lender. You can get into a home for as little as $1,000 down, but in addition to that, there are various grant programs out there where you don't have to pay the down payment back. So there's a lot of options. Don't let down payment keep you from buying, because every time you write that rent check, all you're doing is helping your landlord pay their mortgage off. It's time to start paying your own mortgage and building your own equity for your own future.
And I can't think of a better company than Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. In addition to help with down payments, they have the interest rate guarantee. They also have pick your own term loan. They have credit optimization. You have to call for your ideal home loan. 303-867-7000.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock.
There's a couple of delays bookending the metro area. Let's start up north. Good news that earlier wreck I-25.
I'm going to get out of my computer.
Is still recovering from that.
We're rude to needing control.
On northbound I-25, this
No,
is 120.
yeah, I'm already responding.
Are blocked. I'm back up Joe's number. Up in the high country, it looks like there's a crash.
You act like I wouldn't be nice.
Area, so watch out for that.
Can you believe that, Bob?
Country on 6th Avenue and Clear Creek Canyon between tunnels 1 and 2.
Give me a little heartless at times.
Spot today with
But I agree with you most of the time.
Heartless. This guy just ripped this guy off a month ago. 5 years ago, he was doing the same thing.
I want you to tell.
Regardless of the disease, I agree.
I want you to see what this woman says.
I did. I already saw it.
If something happens,
I know, but on the air.
Specialist.
Yeah, I will.
I want you to ask your opinion.
I will.
So, it's evident she's talking about you.
Offered everything I wanted in a window.
I do think the owner doesn't know what the hell he ordered.
Yeah, that's all about Tom. She spelled his name wrong, though.
Mark, you'll have the
You still have yours up, or I just gotta log in?
No, okay, so I'm leaving. But after this, I'm going to do Joe.
I'm on there.
You want me to get that up? Now, just tell him I'm preparing for tomorrow night. Okay?
He's not gonna come on. I love him. Tell him I'm doing the show, and I'm not Tom. I won't make fun of him like Tom does.
It was a little heartless.
Schedule today for your free in-home estimate at getchampion.com. That's getchampion.com.
Hey, it's Lynn and Michelle, the sisters from Brothers. And wow, our team did something even more amazing than usual. They honored us by nominating Brothers, listing us in the Denver Post as one of the top places to work. They say they enjoy coming to work. They're inspired and feel like they're given the room to do great things. And that, well, that feels really good. Check us out for yourself.
Call 303-451-5057. Brothers Plumbing, Heating, and Electric.
Online at brothersplumbing.com.
Do you think you pay too much to sell a house? Hi, this is John Vizzi with Colorado Flat Fee Realty. If you sell a $400,000 house and the agent charges you 6%, that'll cost you $24,000 for just a few days' work. Colorado Flat Fee Realty has a much better way. On a $400,000 sale, you would save $10,300 with Colorado Flat Fee Realty. Why would you list with anyone else? Call 303-300-9660 or visit coloradoflatfeerealty.com.
Hey, let's keep more safe thousands.
2.8% co-op applies.
If you get into trouble and need help, and I mean trouble with the law, Joe Lazzara, attorney at law, is a criminal defense attorney on my referral list at referralist.com. I always jokingly say, I hope this is an attorney you never need. But I'm not really joking, especially when it comes to DUIs. What an idiot you would be to get a DUI, because there's no reason. There's no reason. You can get a designated driver, you can take cabs, you can take Uber, you can take Lyft. Truly, I mean, it's one of the most preventable things in the world. But if you get in trouble, if you underestimated what you drank, or if you're just an idiot, or let's say you were smoking marijuana, now that's a whole new slew of problems. Joe Lazzara can get you through the system, and you need someone, because it's both motor vehicle and criminal, civil and criminal. Joe Lazzara, attorney at law, for all criminal defense, including traffic and DUI. He's actually pretty brilliant with traffic offenses. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. Look for Joe Lazzara on my referral list at referralist.com.
I gotta set the table. Pull up a chair, sit at the table. Today at 1. Eat it. I don't mind eating peas if it meant getting the country back to a balanced budget. A mess. Eat with Hannity. I'll eat my peas. On Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
All right, folks, 303-713-8255. Got some great email I wanted to read real quick. It's a wonderful one. By the way, I promise I'll get right back to there, Suzanne. I'll get back to Brianna. I promise. Tom stepped out, so listen. We've got a lot going on here. But Ed Jones, aluminum radiator supply, a guy took $5,000. We're still trying to figure out what he did, what he didn't do. We're talking to the machine shop, Javier's machine shop over there. But I got this email. Oh, my God, it's scathing. It says you guys should not be. Suzanne, can you read that? Can you please read that? Listen to the scathing email they sent towards Tom and myself. It's horrible. I want to know your opinion on it.
So Janice says, I don't care if Ed has done something wrong in the past, but making fun of him on the air is so awful. You say you care about people, but this Mark host is cruel and rude daily. I can't stand to hear both of you mock this man and his suffering. It's disgusting. Have some class.
Wah! Wah! What's her name? Wah!
Janice.
Janice, how about if that was your mom, your dad, that he just took $5,000 from, and you said in the past? Doesn't that say in the past? Well, the past is last week we got this phone call. Let alone he's been doing this since 2012 that we can find online, Janice. Have Janice call in. I would love to discuss this with you on air, Janice, please, or anybody out there. You know what? What happens if this was your mom or dad, your elderly parents? How about if it was you and Ed Jones took your $5,000, and then when he has nothing to give you back, he says, I'm sorry, I'm sick? That's his M.O., Janice. That's what he's been doing. And if you don't like me making fun of him or Tom making fun with him, I'm sorry. You know what? The guy takes money and gives nothing except an excuse that he's sick. That's all he does. So what do you let him do? Do it for the next 10, 15 years before he dies? I don't feel good the guy's going to die. You know what? Karma's a real bitch sometimes, though, isn't it? Maybe this guy's been ripping people off his whole life. I don't know. What I do know, though, is last week we got this call. So when you say in the past, guess what? I don't know what to tell you. Speaking of Ed Jones, Chuck, how do you know Ed Jones?
Well, I'm wondering if it might be the same Ed Jones we had in Glendale, Arizona.
What was that Glenn Jones doing? And I don't know if it's the same or not. Did he have the same M.O.?
Oh, yeah. Well known.
What would he do?
Same stuff. He takes, you know, he'll take jobs in and they won't get done, and
yeah, and then nothing happens. Did he
don't get anywhere with
Did he have a radiator company, do you know?
No, it was called Ed Jones Speed Shop.
Yeah, well, Speed Shop, that's funny. I wonder if it is the same guy. I sure wouldn't. You know what? Maybe Janice has a comment on that, too. Let's find out. Let's run a background check on Ed Jones, see if he was in California, because I'd love to know that. I really would. Chuck, did you get ripped off by whatever Ed Jones that was in Arizona?
No.
No?
No, not at all.
How'd you even hear about it then?
Well, because, I mean, if you race in Arizona and, you know, everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, I got you. It's a small industry.
You learn who to stay away from.
Yeah, I got you. All right. Hey, Chuck, I appreciate that. One line open, 303-713-8255. Brianna, I am going to go back to you, 303 Martino. Brianna, you have more to say about the driveway. Basically, you bought it. Recap everybody real quick. You bought the house, and the driveway was supposed to be fixed where you bought it, correct?
Yeah, the driveway was supposed to be fixed where the sewer line got replaced.
Got it.
So fast forward to the first big rainstorm, our driveway washes out because the dirt did not get tampered down or put all the way back in underneath the driveway. So our driveway is falling apart. I had gotten a hold of the guy that did the work before we closed on the house. He said he was going to come fix it on 3 separate occasions, failed to do so.
You realize his warranty, though, because the seller's the one that actually paid him, right?
But the seller's non-responsive, too, is the problem.
See, I think this is more of an issue with the seller than anything.
Well, up until this Saturday, I had texted the guy that did the work and kept telling me he was going to come back and redo it.
Yeah.
I had been texting him. He said he'll do it. Then he became non-responsive.
Why do you think he stopped? Why do you think he became non-responsive?
Because I don't think he wants to do the work. I don't think he thought I was serious. So I texted him last week and I said, hey, listen, you know, I'm disappointed that we haven't heard back from you. You've told me you're going to come fix this. You have failed to show up. At this point, the work has been paid for. It needs to be done correctly. You and one of your guys came out and admitted to us that the work was not done correctly. You told me you were going to fix it. At this
What did they say was wrong with it exactly?
He said that they didn't put all the fill dirt back in and they didn't tamper it down.
Got it. So it's just loose and then it basically washed away.
Yeah, he admitted to not fixing it.
What's the name of the company?
So, I believe it's Pueblo Drain and Excavation.
The one I'm finding is in Denver, Brianna. Is that correct? Or Commerce City?
I don't know. We're having a hard time walking down the receipt. We're trying to get it from the seller.
Okay, so I don't even have anyone to call Mark.
Why do you think the seller's not helping? And then was it actually part of the contract that it would be fixed properly?
Yes, because it was the sewer line.
You know what I'd like to do? Hold on a second. Let's see if Ryan Wood or possibly Siglian are available, some of our attorneys on the referral list. Hold tight, Brianna. I want to ask a question to them.
If you can give me just a second, though. This guy, after I threatened to take him to court and file a complaint with the Better Business Bureau, he came to my house Saturday and dumped that 400, 500 pounds of dry cement mix all over my driveway in my yard. And
you mean in bags or what? Hold on.
No, it wasn't in bags. I texted you guys a couple more pictures. It wasn't in bags. It was just a big, huge pile of dry cement mix. He poured it into the hole that has been created from everything caving in our driveway and left. He didn't call me and say, hey, I'm coming. He didn't text me. He didn't ring my doorbell.
I gotta see this.
He came and dropped a bunch of cement mix and left. So I called the police to try to report him for vandalism, and the officer I spoke with said, you know what, it is vandalism. Unfortunately, we can't do anything because he left materials for the job.
I don't see those pictures yet. Suzanne, send me those pictures.
He said that they can't prove that he wasn't planning on coming back and doing the work.
Hold on a second. Hey, hold on a second. Hold on a second, Brianna. Hey, Brandon, how are you, man?
Hey, I'm good, Mark. Thanks.
Hey, I got a question for you. Brianna's on the line with us. She purchased a home, and part of the deal was they were going to fix the driveway. Well, they had the driveway fixed, but it was absolutely horrible. The first time it really rained, or since it's been fixed, how long ago has it been, Brianna?
It got fixed at the end of November, and that rainstorm that we had with all the hail damage all over the state is the one that washed out my driveway.
Yeah, so they didn't pack down the dirt well enough, and basically the whole thing washed out. So, Brandon, if part of the deal on purchasing the home, the seller won't communicate with her, won't even give a receipt or the information of who he had fixed it, does she have anywhere to go going after the seller? I would assume yes.
Yeah, especially if it's got it in writing. I certainly want to have that in writing.
So, yeah. Brianne, is that in writing somewhere that it's going to be repaired?
Yes, it is. So yep, it was part of our inspection.
So why don't you hire someone like Brandon at this point, Brianna? Let him go after him. Brandon, would you generally be able to get attorney's fees out of something like this?
Typically, the real estate, if it's in the real estate contract, that's typically going to have a attorney's fees provision in there.
Yeah, so, Brianna, I think this is... I'm sorry, you said it will have that provision.
Right.
Yeah, so, Brianna, you don't even have... Long as... If you send it over to Brandon and he looks at it, he's going to either tell you, yeah, this should be no problem. Let's go after the guy. So instead of you trying to chase down this contractor that you didn't even pay, this is really the way to go.
Yeah, and then is there anything we can do with this contractor coming and just dumping hundreds of pounds of cement all over my yard?
I don't even know what to make to think of that. Brandon, I'm looking at a picture. Actually, let me pull it up if I'm actually looking at it.
And when the officer came over this weekend, he said it's absolutely vandalism, but we can't prove that he wasn't planning on coming back and doing the work.
He dumped like a truckload of dry cement in this hole over there. I mean, it's really bizarre at best.
Yeah, and the officer said that he can't file vandalism reports until it rains.
All right, hold on, both of you. I have to take a break. I've got to pay some bills. We're going to come back to this, though. Everybody hold tight. Pat, I promise you'll be up. And then Ray and everybody else holding, we will get to you. I promise, I promise. Thinking of great companies, Pro Auto. You know what I love about Al Aramis and Pro Auto? First of all, he's got multiple locations. He's always offering a deal for new customers, and he generally extends it to customers he already has. But check this out, the Pro Pack. You ready? He's going to kill me for this. Generally, I'd have him on air, so he better be ready. The Pro Pack, you're going to get wiper blades, okay? And these aren't the cheap ones. He uses Amco. They're good wiper blades. They're not these real cheap ones. On top of that, you're going to get a synthetic blend oil change. It's the good oil. It's a good filter. It's just quality stuff. You're going to, of course, get the labor. You're going to get a tire rotation. You're going to get everything for $29.95. You're not going to beat that anywhere. Which you call up and get it scheduled. And here's what I love about Al. Once you use them, this is a way for him to get to know you and you vice versa, get to know him and his people. But they're great people at Pro Auto. You just got to get over there. You got to meet them, take advantage of this great Pro Pack. You know, you get roadside service even with that $29.95 special. But give them a call once you meet these guys and you do have problems down the line with your car, whether it's an alternator, starter, a whole engine, it doesn't matter. You're going to use Pro Auto Care, and this is a great way to get them. Ready? 303 Pro Auto. It's simple as that. 303 Pro Auto. You'll hit the button for whatever store is closest to you, or you can check them out at 303proauto.com.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock.
There's a few trouble spots in the drive.
Yeah, meeting with you guys. I think it hit him by surprise that his sister came in this early.
Santa Fe. Also, a couple of earlier crashes, 925. One south.
Give you an update on that? I'll ask on here. I don't even care about it. I hate it.
Still residual backup.
It's a bump.
Northbound I-25.
Yeah, I don't care what's going on with him. You can't go around ripping people off. It's the most ridiculous thing.
Being cleared.
Does he have any of the other parts? I guess now you've sparked my interest.
Yes, he said he does. But he said he's got to order some new parts that are going to be more expensive. He said, but I gave the guy the quote of $5,000. I said, Ed, the guy wants the damn engine. You know, it's been a year. And he says, "What?" I said, "Why don't you make a deal?" He says, "That's a stint. What everybody else would do, they would just, you know, make a deal." I quoted him $5,000. I says, "Ed,
Did he already pay him
$5,000?"
$5,000?
Yes.
Okay, so how much more does he want?
Probably between $1,000 and $1,500 for the new parts. And I told Chris, call Ed and work it out with him.
Okay. Experience what others are raving about.
But Chris didn't know what he ordered either.
Home exteriors. Improve your home's appearance.
Well, he ordered an engine a year ago. That's what he ordered.
But he thought it told me aluminum block, when I called aluminum blocks, those things are like double the price.
2019. Every American-made Champion window is installed using expert craftsmen and features Champion.
You got a good screaming deal, Bob?
365.
You want to put out?
Champion's
Or just
lifetime warranty
no, because the AC's
hardware and even installation. That's why I endorse
half off,
right now.
half
Get
off an air conditioner with
$250 off every Champion window and pay
$39
no interest or payments until 2019.
So, you know, going back, I didn't really get a chance to talk to you.
Is that a check on the AC, $39
Check
bucks?
on the AC, yeah.
Okay, that's a good one.
And there's other things. I mean, if you know, if the refrigerant levels are low.
How much is the drain cleaning? 93 or it's free?
93 or free.
GetChampion.com.
You know, some of the other maintenance.
Well, that 39, they'll come out, they'll make sure the refrigerator.
All that, yeah.
Okay.
And that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. If the refrigerant level is low, not only is it not going to run properly, but the compressor relies on the refrigerant to stay cool. So you're going to blow your compressor, but not keeping it cool.
Gallery, where we sell the world's finest fitness equipment. Going on now at our tent sale, save up to 40% off. True treadmills, ellipticals, and stationary bikes carry the industry's best warranty.
It's a 60, right? These are all 60.
Yeah, they're all 60. 15.
36 years in manufacturing, a lifetime warranty on all parts. 2 convenient locations, north off of I-25 and 58th Ave, 1 block
5 seconds.
and south at University and C470 or fitnessgallery.com.
Listen, Stem Cell Institute of America. It's changed Tom's life, and I am not kidding. I deal with Tom Martino every single day before the show, after the show, and there's one thing that's been a constant for well over, I don't know, 2-3 years. You want to know what it is? His back's been hurting. So he started doing commercials for Stem Cell Institute of America, and I got to tell you, since he started getting these injections in his back with the stem cells, it is unbelievable. He's like a child again. He literally walks
around telling me every day how it's working and how great it is. Now, they've done a few shots on the shoulder, and they're still working on that, but I have never seen anything like this. This guy used to complain about his back all the time, and I do not hear it anymore. I simply don't hear it, and I love how Stem Cell Institute of America operates too. What do I mean by that? Well, they have free stem cell therapy educational seminars. That's where you can go, ask all the questions. Is it right for me? Is this something I should do? Have other people had the results like Tom has? You name it. That's what these seminars are for, and I love the fact they do it that way. I want you to call right now, see when the next seminar is. You're going to thank me. You're going to thank Tom. 855-262-4040. 855-262-4040. You got to call. Of course there's no obligation. This is a chance for you to see if it's right for you. And listen, it's going to make a huge difference in your life. 855-262-4040, Stem Cell Institute of America.
If you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at 630KHOW.
An iHeartRadio station.
All right, folks, 303-713-8255. I want to get right back to Brandon Sigley and get back to Brianna in her driveway. Brianna, I don't know what to make of him dumping, that contractor dumping all that dry concrete over there. I don't know what to make of that, but I think you need to go after the seller for the other problem. Brandon, do you have anything there?
Yeah, you know, I think that you're spot on there, Mark. Didn't get the whole call on what was going on with this concrete being dropped off, but that does sound
it's something completely different. Is it whoever comes out and actually fixes it ultimately, though, Brianna, is going to have to deal with that dry concrete, right?
Exactly.
Well,
so
okay.
we tried to remove as much of it as we possibly could, because otherwise it's just going to be a horrendous mess. But it's now under the existing concrete. We've also got our gas line and our sewer line running underneath that, so that is two-part problem.
Yeah.
if wet cement gets down there and dries, what's
Listen.
it attaching to? And if it falls more, what's it going to ruin?
Brianna, get everything over to Brandon. You're very lucky in this circumstance, which I mean is you can get attorney's fees.
Okay.
All right? So in other words, Brandon's not going to cost you anything. He's going to look at everything, and then you guys will go forward, and he'll ultimately be getting paid by the seller.
Fantastic.
All right, so
Brandon, with that said, you think that hiring you is the best way to go about this problem?
If you're not getting any relief without it, there is going to be a mandatory mediation that's part of the sales agreement, but yeah, we could start off with a letter and see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do something, but going after this vendor who you don't even know who it is, you didn't actually pay him, the warranty wasn't with you. Your warranty, which luckily is in writing because of the actual purchase of the home, is with the seller, Brianna. But you can call Brandon at 720-344-4828. Brandon, I appreciate it. And by the way, you can always find him on a referral list at referrallist.com. And Brandon, you're actually coming to the event tomorrow, right?
I'll be there.
Yeah, we're looking forward. So any business questions you have on our small business seminar, when it comes to collections, hey, a lot of businesses have issues with collections all the time. Brandon, you do a ton of collections. I guess you put a lot of liens for contractors as well, right?
Yeah, we do.
In the hardest part, a lot of people can do a lot of they can go out, if you're a contractor, you know how to put a lien on the house, or if you don't, of course, there's attorneys that do it, but the hardest part is what, Brandon? Collecting on that judgment.
That's right.
And you have some tricks out there that help companies.
We do.
We'll be talking about that tomorrow as well. I thank you. 303-713-8255. Bear's got a comment on that driveway. Bear?
Yes, you're talking about some concrete mix that's been dropped on
that's what
site.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's not what the industry calls crusher fines.
Oh, like a filler?
Yeah, in the recycling process of concrete or asphalt, the materials are usually sent through a crushing plant to be reduced in size. And in the excavation industry, one of the things that they use the concrete crusher is for backfilling material.
Yeah, hold on, you bring up something interesting there. Brianna, are you still I just missed her by a second. Let me kill that. I just missed her. Oh, I did? Hold on a second. Hold on, Bear. Hey, Brianna, are you sure that was definitely dry cement they dropped off?
Yes, and it's got huge rocks in it. Like, it was a spiteful move. And after the police officer talked to him, he said, listen, that guy has no good intentions with this.
Go ahead, Bear.
Pressure fines does look like a dry concrete mix, but you don't use it as concrete anymore. You use it as a gravel.
So what do you think they would have been doing with it? Just filling up that hole?
But he left a 2-foot-tall pile next to the
someone else
driveway.
called and said they probably left it to fill.
But they're not coming back. And when the officer that I spoke with him, he had no intention of coming back.
I had to put her on
Well,
hold.
he may have no intention after the police were called. Sorry, Brianna. I'm just saying he may not have.
She just needs to call. She needs to call Brandon. But you're right, Bear. That probably is a filler, huh? Why would anybody dump off just dry concrete like that?
Yeah, because it does look like dry concrete to the non-professional.
Yeah, I gotcha. Huh, interesting. I bet you hit that right. But regardless, her problem is with the seller on this deal anyhow. Yep. Thanks, Bear.
Yep.
All right, folks, 303-713-8255. Pat, what's going on with you? Pat, you're up.
Hey.
Hey.
My daughter and her husband have a house in Erie. When that big storm came in a couple of weeks ago, their sump pump, the hail blocked off the drainage system, so the sump pump overflowed, and they had horrible damage in their basement, water damage. They hired a mitigation company like within a day, and the insurance won't pay for anything. And
Now,
they got it.
How did the water, so the hole fills up where the sump pump is, did it come in through the ground then?
Yes.
And you're saying, did the sump pump not work? Was it not pumping?
It was pumping, but it was like over,
It couldn't keep up.
Yes.
You know, I hate to say this, I'm going to get Compass Insurance on, but I think that's going to be flooding. I mean, Bob, you have Bob with Plumbline Services. To me, and we'll get the professional up. In fact, we have them right now, so hold on a second.
Okay.
So, Brian, this is an interesting one. It rained and hailed so much, the sump pump could not keep up, and it ended up flooding the basement. Was it just the basement, Pat?
Yes.
So the insurance company is declining to pay, and I assume that's because the water, well, it flooded, right?
Yes, that's what they're saying.
Brian, what do you think?
They're calling it flood damage ultimately, is that right?
Well, they have Liberty Mutual, and it was all discussed supposedly with the agent when they moved in there. I think it was like 3 years ago.
What do you mean with the agent 3 years ago? What do you mean it was discussed 3 years ago?
No. That they have, Liberty Mutual has some pump coverage, but they didn't check the box.
So they don't even have backup of sewer drain coverage. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that's why. Otherwise, to answer your question, Mark, even if there was so much hail and water that the sump pump could not keep up, if it backed up through the sewer, you would have whatever the coverage amount you would have.
Well, if
wouldn't be declined based
hold
off
on.
of that.
Are you sure did it back up through the sewer though? I guess what I was picturing is it was just so much water where the sump pump was just filled up.
You're correct, Mark.
So it actually came in because of the rain, not because of a backup on the sewer. I mean, does that make sense, Brian?
Yeah, but I've seen it. I would still say they would cover that if they had the coverage on their policy.
Okay. But okay.
I sent you the policy and the letters to the email address.
Brian, is that something if you looked at, you could see if she has that coverage or not?
Yeah, send it over to me. I'll look at it.
All right, sounds great. So hold tight, all right, both of you. Hold tight. Let me do this and that. Suzanne, make sure that email from her gets over to Brian, then hopefully we can check with him. And let's see here. Paradigm. You know what? If you're looking for floor coverings, Paradigm by far is the best. You know they have two ways of checking everything out. First of all, they have tile, they have carpet, they have hardwood, they have laminates, they have everything out there. They got that luxury vinyl tile that is absolutely gorgeous. They've got the waterback Shaw, I think it's called Life-Proof Carpeting, which Suzanne and I have at our house. It's absolutely wonderful. And I got to tell you, there's two ways to deal with them. You can go to Evans, just west of Santa Fe, and check out their beautiful showroom and check it out right there. Or you can call them up, and they'll come to you. They'll show you samples right in your own house. And I got to tell you, if pricing is your model, they got good, better, best. You know, you can go out there. If you're just redoing your apartment and you're getting ready to move or re-rent it, call Paradigm. If you want the top of the line, that life carpet like we have, call Paradigm. If you need hardwood, call Paradigm. These guys are wonderful. Here's the phone number, 303-630-9204, 303-630-9204, 303-630-9204. That's Paradigm Interiors.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock.
Quite a few slow spots as the lunch hour continues. Getting reports of a crash on the southbound side of I-25 there near 58th off to the shoulder. Watch out for some looky-loo backups there. Some improvements on that wreck eastbound C-470 approaching University. There's still some flashing lights on the right shoulder there, so watch out for delays. And also another crash to watch out for at Hamden and Dayton. The weather forecast. Afternoon thunderstorms. Some could be heavy and a high of 86 tonight. Partly cloudy and a low of 55. Tomorrow, more afternoon heavy thunderstorms. Cooler. A high of only 73. Right now, partly sunny and 82. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
Is your personal info for sale on the dark web?
What's Kevin's complaint about me?
But LifeLock sees a wide range of
How beautiful I am?
If something happens, U.S.-based specialists can work to fix it.
Half off an air conditioner with purchases
Use promo code RISK.
Mark, headphones. You have high-interest credit card debt or student loans and feel like you will never get ahead making the minimum payment every month? Hi, this is Ross Kaminsky from my friends at American Financing, and probably you're right. American Financing can help you.
Half off air conditioning with purchase of
monthly payment. Did you know you can refinance up to 85% of your home's current value? This can allow you to start saving hundreds, $1,000 or more every month. Rates are still near historic lows.
All right, you got tinnitus and 30.
Are expected to increase again before the end of the year. American Financing's mortgage consultants are salary-based, and the conversations are simple, straightforward, and honest. There are no upfront fees, and you may be able to skip up to 2 mortgage payments. More save 15. Call now before rates go up again. 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or 5. AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
All right, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Centers. You know what? Tom uses these guys, too. He's had a ringing in his ears forever, and Dr. Patton and Dr. Lisa have helped him out numerous times. Right now, it kind of drives me crazy because he's got this thing in his ear all the time. Do you realize at this point, depending on the kind of tinnitus you have and just the frequency that's bothering you, they have pretty much what I would call a cure for it, and Tom's going through that right now. I hear this little device in his ear all the time. So if you've been treated for tinnitus in the past, and it's helped, of course, but it's still there, and you really want to get rid of it, I urge you to call Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. Just call Dr. Patty, Dr. Lisa over there. They're great people. They'll do a comprehensive hearing evaluation. They can give you a hearing test. By the way, they have the top of the line, and I mean the top of the line hearing aids as well. But call these folks. You got to check into this tinnitus. If you've gone other places and you're still dealing with it, do what Tom is doing right now. You can reach him at 303-534-0163, 303-534-0163, or you can check him out at helpforringing.com.
From Fire the FBI Director, Comey has failed you, the American people, nothing but a political hack and would not deliver equal justice under the law.
Hannity, coming up today at 1 on Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
All right, folks, 303-713-8255. I think we can put an end to this insurance coverage real quick. Brian, did you see what the page or where the denial was for this claim or what?
Yeah, on page 2 of the policy that was sent over, and I think she kind of mentioned that they said this, but the water backup actually shows declined on the policy.
So help me out with this, Brian. Water backup isn't just for like a sewer backup. It's actually if that sump pump doesn't operate and the water comes in. I thought if the water came in from underneath anyhow, it's considered flood damage and it wouldn't be covered.
You're right. It is a fine line, but what happens is a lot of times whenever there's that much water, or even if a sump pump fails and the water comes up there and starts coming through, they will cover those kind of damages. Usually it's a very low limit. You know, people could have higher limits, but what you usually find is either zero, like this particular policy has, or up to $5,000 is what you usually see.
Well,
that
folks,
that's it.
Folks out there listening, watch it. Pat, I'm sorry, but it looks like that was it. It was declined, and that's how it works.
And they have no recourse, huh?
It doesn't sound like it, no.
Because the mitigation alone was $11,000.
I know, those companies, I got to tell you, the companies that come in, I've seen some of these bills where those fans go for, $500 an hour. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous, but no, that's it. Pat, I feel for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, a lot of times if you don't have coverage, call up that mitigation company and try to bargain with them. I mean, say, hey, this is what we can offer you. What do you guys think? Try to come up with something.
Okay.
Bye. All right, folks, 303-713-8255. Kevin's got a complaint about me, I promise. This is what we call a tease. So I'm not going to grab him yet. I'm going to talk to Bob. Then I'll come back and figure out what my problem is, which I love. I'm sure it's going to have to do with Ed. I already got the emails. I already got the hate mail. By the way, you can always reach us at live@troubleshooter.com. Here's what I love about Plumline. Bob, you have no idea what I'm going to say. In fact, you're even nervous the fact I'm talking.
Tell me, Mark, what do you love about Plumline?
$39. You'll come out. I hope you're still doing this. $39. You'll come out, check their AC, and I don't mean just physically look at it and go, it's there. You're actually going to hook up the gauges. You're going to make sure the Freon's right. You're going to make sure it's in good operating order for the summer coming up.
That's exactly right. For $39, a 22-point inspection, and if it breaks down during the summer, we will give that $39 back to you. But
apply it.
But Tom was talking about some of the things that may cause additional damage, and there's multiple things. We don't have time because we're coming to the end of the show here, but there's multiple things that if the homeowners don't do or they don't fix, it can cause more damage down the road. And so we can talk about that next time, but this $39 tune-up special is a fantastic deal, and it'll identify these things.
Well, it blows me away because and I know, you can't put a person in a van, put gasoline in a van, do anything, and get to someone's house for $39. It's impossible. So really what you guys are doing is, A, if there is a problem with the air conditioner, of course you want to sell them the AC.
Well, of course we want to be able to do a repair or fix the AC, but more than anything, I want to blow my clients' minds away with customer service. I want to show them that for $39, you got the best company, the best people in your home, and do such a fantastic job for them that regardless of whether they need down the road plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical, drain cleaning, that they know where they're going.
And you just said what I was going to say. You know the main thing they want to do? Here's the main thing they want to do. You want to get that sticker on everything. So when they do have a drain backup, when they do have their furnace go out, when their AC does quit working, they have Plumbline sticker everywhere. So, and if you think about it, the cost of getting an average customer, I don't know in your business, back in the day with my automotive business, was well over $60 a person. So if you can send someone out there for $39 and check their stuff out, it's a great way to do it. Then when they need any of the services in the future, your sticker's there, and because you guys are going to wine and dine them, and I know your service is great, they're going to call you when they need something.
And hopefully it's not the number on the sticker. Hopefully it's stuck in their mind that, man, I got a great service, I got a great technician, great company.
Well, of course. They're going to remember their experience. Now, the other thing is half off an air conditioner right now, so if you get out there on the 39, and let's say they call you up because their air conditioner simply isn't turning on, or they know they have a problem because last year they didn't have AC, half off right now if you purchase a furnace, and it could be the best time to buy a furnace because it's summer.
That's right. That's an incredible deal. I can't even believe we're running that right now in the beginning of June. We're going to hit 90 degrees later in the week, and homes are going to heat up. Now's the time to do it, because if you wait 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to be waiting for contractors until August or September when you don't need the air conditioner. Call right now, half off an air conditioner with the purchase of a furnace.
All right, folks, listen. This is a number for Plumbline. Call, take advantage of that $39, and if you need an AC, half off right now with purchase of a furnace. 303-586-1086. 303-586-1086. Last time we did this last year, and we pushed it hard right before it got hot real quick, and you guys were wishing you didn't do it because it's so cheap. But anyhow, one more time, I'd call now, get it done before we have once we have 3 or 4 days of over, high 80s, 90s, you guys are off and running.
Oh, every company in the state are going to be off and running.
One more time, 303-586-1086. Kevin, go ahead, give it to me.
Hey, I don't want to give it to you, but I just want to say I've been listening to the show for 30 years. I think Tom started it because he really wants to help people out who are being ripped off, and I don't condone people getting ripped off. But to play a recording of a guy that's dying and having a breakdown, and then after you find out, he's truly dying, and then still making fun of him and playing the recording over and over, and then a recording of a donkey to make fun of him even further. I think that's not showing any empathy.
Kevin, what do you do then? Kevin, it's fair enough, and you know what? You're not the only one that thinks that way because I already got the email on it, so I get it. So what exactly do you do with the guy that's been doing this for 5+ years and he's still doing it, and that's the excuse he hangs on? What do you possibly do? Because nothing in the last 5 years has worked with him.
I'm just talking about making fun of a guy who's dying. Sound like very like a person with no compassion.
Well, I'd say this. I'm still not convinced he was until I think it was a UPS or FedEx guy. So I will give you this, Kevin. Up until that, I did think he was absolutely lying. I did. And honestly, right now, I have no idea, but I have to put you on hold. In fact, stay there. I want to talk to you off air. Anyhow, 303-713-8255. Don't forget 303-MARTINO. Live at Troubleshooter.com. My name's Mark Major. We'll be back tomorrow.
Hey there, Dan Cicchini, owner of Done Right Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. There's absolutely no reason why right now can't be your time to get started on that beautiful new kitchen or that awesome bath you've always wanted. See what our family can do for your family. 800-362-8370.
Clogged drains, slow drains? If Plumbline Services can unclog your main drain for just $93, there's no charge, $93 or free. If there's a serious problem, Plumbline will present you with honest options to fix it. Unlike the others, Plumbline